Oh, good evening. Good evening. Good evening. I'm only coming in for a little bit. I am under the weather. Hey, do the right thing. I'm coming in for a little bit because I am under the weather. I was at the hospital yesterday. I have my back thing is happening again. It happens once a year. It usually happens in June, but it is happening now. I have been in so much pain since like Easter Sunday. And I think maybe one of those, either that Saturday or Easter Sunday, I think I told you all, I was like, I'm feeling that pain in my back. And Monday, I was hurting. Tuesday, I was hurting. Well, not really Monday, real bad Tuesday. Then Wednesday, I was hurting. And I went back to the urgent care hospital. And the doctor was like, had my records, and she was like, this seems to come around once a year. I was like, yeah. The other two times it came in June. And now it's here in April, 2 months early. But they gave me lidocaine patches, and they gave me, I'm taking progesterone. It's a steroid. I take 2 of those pills. I only have to take them tomorrow morning and then tomorrow evening. And I'm on a muscle relaxer. Hey, my country girl, Queena. I have been having to have my son and my husband help me sit up. I haven't been sitting in the lady lounge because my back has been hurting. So the doctor put me a referral in for a spinal specialist, um, because this isn't something that I have all the time. Um, Hi, little brother, official King Pain. Um, I have been, yeah, you take the alarm off and go outside with that. No, because I don't want Jay to smell it. It's different. Okay. So just go in the kitchen. Um, so I've been since Easter, I haven't felt my back is like just killing me. So they may, I'm gonna call the spinal specialist. Mm. Um, it's been like last night I got my prescription filled. I couldn't hardly sleep. I sat up last night. I think I want to say when the pill finally kicked in, I was watching King Pain. I think because they gave me that one pill is really strong. I couldn't get off my back to lay on my side. It was horrible. But I'm feeling much, much better today. And tomorrow is going to bring me more joy with my back not hurting even less. Um, you know, you have chronic back pain and take somebody put some at the bottom so I can see. Girl, I got and the lidocaine, these lidocaine prescription strips, lidocaine patches, those motherfuckers, you put them on, they be cold as hell. But tomorrow when I take this patch off, yeah, back pain is awful. you do the right thing. Um, I haven't left the house since I went to the doctor yesterday. And before that, I don't think I left the house in like I didn't leave the house until yesterday. Um, they believe the doctor, she said that she believes that this is scar tissue that's pushing on something from my epidurals. I've had 6 epidurals and 1 spinal block. My spinal block was done with my last child, Madison, but they did it above where my epidurals have gone in all 6 times. They've had to go right there through the scar tissue. And it has just built up over time. And when it hurts, that shit hurts. I can't think straight. Um, I can't do anything. I'm just I be down like 4 flat tires. So I've been in so much pain with my back that I have not taken a shower. But tomorrow I will. I will take off this lidocaine patch and I will get in the shower and let some hot water hit my back. Um, I'm not a good pain person. Certain pains I handle well. I think mental pain I handle well more than physical pain. I'm not the motherfucker to ever torture. Tell me where it is. I'm gonna tell you. Because I ain't got time for this shit. But like I said, I take my next prednisone pill. It's 2 of them, 20 milligrams. Good morning on one. It's 2 of them. So they want me to take them too. That's 40 milligrams. And I'm not really sure what this prednisone does, but it helps. So, I'm feeling all right now, but standing up is hard. Yesterday it was hard just moving my shoulders like this. It was just horrible. I'm crying and shit. Last night. It was crazy. I was like, what the fuck is going on? The bitch is falling apart. And everyone I spoke to is like, well, I didn't speak to everyone. That's one of my lady friends. She goes, it's hard getting old. I'm like, I'm not equating this with oldness. The fuck, I'm equating it with what the doctor said. Having those damn cesarean sections, you know. And when I think about it, even though I had 2 vaginal births and everyone else was a cesarean, even with those 2 vaginal births, hi, my empress, I still had an epidural. Bitch was just sad to be like a princess laying up in there, because it was just shit. Labor pains hurt. But, salute to all the women who done had a baby without zero medicine. You all are the true heroes of motherhood. Cause I know I was like, first contraction that hit me, I was like, oh hell no. Nope. These motherfuckers last too long too. Come on. Oh, you gotta wait till you're 4 centimeters. A bitch waited, but now I'm paying for it. Oh, my back, y'all. But the little the prednisone helps, and when I get off here, I'm gonna take a muscle relaxer and should try to go to sleep. That's the first time I'm able to like move. Cause motherfucking Tuesday and Wednesday, there was no sleep to Brooklyn, baby. I didn't sleep at all. I was up and down, sitting up in the bed, hanging my feet off the bed. I'm like, The doctor says I need a backiotomy. Yeah. He said I begged for an epidural and a shot of rum, anything. Yes. I'm just like, this is a bullshit, man. My back was hurting. And you know what? I was just like, my husband's like, you didn't sleep good. He's like, you tossed and turned. He goes, I think I heard you just moaning and crying. Cause I just couldn't get comfortable. I couldn't get comfortable. This is the first time I'm comfortable shit in 4 days, you know? I thugged it out as long as I could. I'm around here walking like one step at a time and shit. I'm like, this shit crazy. But thank God for TV. Thank God for YouTube. I've been watching people and, having some laughs and, you know, watching the whole Shannon Sharp thing and, still scratching my head about Kanye. The fuck? Um, but still scratching my head about, Shannon. I'm just like, Shannon, Shannon, Shannon. Now, Val says she might come live tomorrow night and discuss the Shannon Sharp issue. And if she does, please go over there so we could talk about it in depth. Um, I'm not gonna sit here and lie to y'all. When people are saying he don't like black women, but then all his kids are black, you know. I'm like, damn, what happened after those kids where he just went melanatedly challenged? If that's what you like, that's what you like. But I'm just like, and people want to talk about Shannon. Now you know that Shannon a big freak, like his booty licked and all that shit. You know, um, I'm I'm just like, and I always like Shannon. He a big old tall country ass nigga. And Roxanne love a big old country ass nigga with a big nose. That's just my thing. Val always talk about him, about that. But I always thought he was sexy. You know, he gave me that whole, just ooh. But he like little white women, and he like them licking his booty hole. You know, I consider myself a nasty motherfucker. I can get down in that room. But it's just certain things I'm not gonna do. You know. Now, Shannon a grown ass man. He got an old grown man booty hole. How do you even ask somebody to lick their ass? I'm just wondering. No, how do you just ask somebody to lick your ass? Now I done had my ass licked. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I done had my ass licked, but I didn't ask. I didn't ask to get my ass licked. I didn't ask that shit. Motherfucker was down there munching on one thing and start snacking on another. I'm like, oh wait, hey, hey, hey. But apparently that was one of his kinks. And he wanted his butt. He liked his old Highway Hershey lick. I'm I don't know. Like, I feel like if she was just down there going to town, like, and then she just happened to go down there a little bit further, venture a little bit further down, and she licked his butthole on her own without asking. Hi, my love bug. If she licked his butthole without asking and he went for it, that's one thing. But I just find it in poor taste that you would even ask someone to lick your asshole. You gonna lick my butt? Like, what? You fucking kidding me? How do you don't ask no one that. But that's why you gotta find out shit from motherfuckers when you first start dealing with them. Don't let nobody spring that on you. You feel me? You getting to know somebody, you know, open up about shit like that. Don't be honest. That's almost like tell a motherfucker your status. Like if you got a venereal disease or ST, whatever they call that, you talk about these things. But in the same respect, you gotta ask motherfuckers, do you lick ass? Motherfucking chick, hell no, I don't lick ass. You know, and then, ask, to me, you ask. But you don't ask when y'all like getting ready to do that shit. Yeah, that shit's weird. A long, long time ago, before I married my second husband, there was this guy, and I really liked him. And we kind of dated for, maybe 3 or 4 months, and it was all cool. It was all good until he told me put my finger in his booty. I said, "What?" He said, "Yeah, just put one finger in there." I said, "Get up, get up." He said, "You gotta pee?" I said, "No, I gotta go home." He said, "Why?" I said, "Because I just found that very uncomfortable. I'm sorry." "I'm not sorry. I have to leave." He was like, "Are you serious?" And this before they had lifts and all that shit. I went outside and waited to see if a cab drove by. That's how incensed I was. I was like, I know this motherfucker did not ask me to put my finger in his booty. Your big old man butt. Most men got big butt, big old, they got more butt meat. And I'm just like, what? Uh, he was all out his window looking. You serious? Yeah, I'm very serious. You gonna call me when you get home? No, I'm not. And then he gonna tell me I was childish. He was like, you're being real childish. And this before I grew my own nails out. So I might have I think I had just put on like some Lee press on nails or some shit. Could you imagine if I had put a finger up there and one of those motherfucking nails came off and I pulled out and the nail wasn't there? I was like, nah, baby, I ain't going. I ain't going. Booty holes stink. Okay. Now, unless you're a person who cleanses, going to get colonics and you're giving yourself a nice enema to clean back there, you got shit chips up in there. There's shit chips up in there, and it's grown man shit chips. And that shit ain't cute, you know. But Shannon, he stepped down from ESPN for a little while. We just got to see how this shit play out. Hey, Sister Mary D. We got to just see how this play out. A word on the street where she asked him for $10 million. Or he offered her $10 million. And she still done took it, she done escalated it, huh? Oh, Mr. Busby, to $50 million. That's 10 million more than what she had, you know? But it's just so strange to me, you know? I've been violated before, and I didn't talk to the person after it happened. I'm just like, but all that booty hole action. And I like I told y'all, I kind of, I thought Shannon was cute, big old chocolate chip. But now he just big old shit chip. That's it in a nutshell. We got him wanting to do booty shit, and then we got Kanye sucking on his cousin. You know, God rest the Pope's soul. You know, what's going on? What's really going on? I don't know. He doesn't like black women, I heard. Well, his children, I think he got two or three. Their mamas is black. Cause those kids is chocolate. It ain't a bit of yellow in those kids. So he must have like black women enough. Or hold on, y'all, I gotta reposition myself. Hi, brother Geologic. Oh, I mean, he like black women enough. He got some black kids, and these ain't no mixed kids, okay? But what happened after? You know, and motherfuckers gonna like what they like. I'm not knocking what people like, okay? So I don't want y'all to feel like I'm being overly judgmental. But that 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 whole you gonna lick my butt thing just got my head a little fucked up. Cause I just don't think that's a question a man should ask. Something like that gotta happen organic. You know what I mean? It just gotta happen um just organically. Um and I feel like that's something a woman should initiate. I don't feel like a brother should ask a woman, she down there, lick my ass. Are you asking me or demanding me to lick your ass? I don't think you should do that. I feel like if you down there and you going to town and you know, and she's sucking on the balls, and then she underneath it doing things, and then her tongue just go down there, and you jump, and you like, hey, but you don't stop her. You don't stop her. You know, okay, it's okay. She went down because if you was really not down for that, and she went down there, motherfuckers be like, hey, 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 you stay up here. Don't go down there. And shit would keep going on. But if a woman go down there and she hit it, and he be like, oh my God, you know, then I guess that's like a flag, a green flag to keep going. He okay with it. But I just don't think you should ask anybody, do they can they lick your butt? I I don't think women should ask men that, not when it's happening. And men shouldn't ask women that. People who out here in the world still dating and meeting people and whatnot, I feel like you should sit down and write down a comprehensive list. Call it the nasty list. And then you have like a regular list, like what do you like to eat? What do you like to do? What do you like to go out for dinner? What's your favorite cologne? Ask those questions so you can get to know a motherfucker. And then ask the nasty list questions, you know, and then you have to tell the person, hey, be honest because I don't want to waste your time. You know, if you one of those motherfuckers who like getting your booty licked, and I don't lick booty, but you really like me, you might go someplace else and get your booty licked. And most of the time, probably booty licking lead to fucking. So You know, you should be able to ask those nasty questions. Hey, Princess, my little sister, you're driving. Love bug, can you please? Oh, you driving home? Okay, sis, be careful. You know, that's what I think. People should ask people questions like that. You know, if I had to turn back the hands of time, I would have a nasty list, because you got to ask these questions, people. You got to ask, do you like your nipples getting pinched? You know, do you like this? Do you like that? What are the things that you like? And they can tell you because you don't want to get in no relationship with a motherfucker and they and they they on some extra kinky shit. You imagine hanging out. Now you getting ready to do something with a motherfucker, and they whip out like a bondage ball and some handcuffs. And I'm like, hey, what is that for? You got to ask people about some of their kinks. Don't surprise me with that shit. I get my ass up and I done left. I done left, dude. A long time ago. It was like, put your finger in my butt. He said it so. I was like, what? I said, get up, get up, get up. He was like, you got to go to the bathroom. I'm like, no, I'm going home. The fuck? Don't ask me no shit like that, man. That made me uncomfortable. And then, like I said, y'all, motherfucker said, out his window, he was like, he wasn't screaming, he was talking. I'm outside looking for a cab. This pre-Uber Lyft. And bitch don't take no train or bus, but I was ready to. I ain't gonna lie. He was like, you're very childish, Roxanne. I'm not childish, bro. Don't don't ask me no shit like that, man. These questions you ask before shit popping off. Cause I'm the type of motherfucker with tear get up. I broke up with a nigga because he farted once when we was doing something. Not my face, he farted. I was like, stop. I said, did you fart? He said, yeah. And he wanted to keep going. I was like, no, I'm Grego. He called me childish too. He's like, you're childish. I'm like, fuck you. You knew you had to fart, motherfucker. Excuse yourself. Go in the bathroom. Go stick your ass in another room. That made me very uncomfortable. Believe it or not, I get uncomfortable easy. How do we get to this conversation, Princess? I don't know. It's the lady lounge. Little conversations just pop up. And I'm on, I got the pain in my back and I'm just trying to sit up. What we talking about? I came in the booty something. Just talking about how Shannon asked that girl would she, lick his butthole. And I just find that very I just find that in poor taste that you would even ask someone that. Val around here somewhere. I gotta try to get to my house phone. I'm looking at it. Somebody go tell Val I'm on. Cause as soon as nah, you know what y'all don't because it's 11:51 and Val did that late live. Val, she go to sleep and she had a good laugh, so I know she tired and she had good prayer, so I know she probably tired. I'll talk to her ass in the morning. Just let her rest. Oh, I gotta cross my leg again. But yeah, I- I'm not a judgy Judy, but it's just certain things, you know, I'm I'm just not down with. Pixie, remember you gotta drop the fairies to keep the chat moving for me, sweetie. But gotta let a hoe be a hoe. Yeah, but you can't classify a motherfucker as a hoe just because they lick booty. Okay? You can't classify a motherfucker as a hoe. Yes, I know Val prayed for you. I was there, baby. You know, you can't classify a motherfucker as a hoe because they lick booty. Now, you going the extra mile, yes. But it don't make you a hoe. If that's the case, just sucking dick or eating pussy in general, you's a hoe. But you can't classify people with that. It's just that some people just a little bit nastier than other motherfuckers. That's all. It happens, you know. Um, but I'm also not gonna admonish anyone who done, went down there and lapped on the Hershey Highway. Hi, Stormy. I'm not gonna judge you because you did it. Because if you like it, hey, motherfucker, I love it. But there's you ask me, you ask those things. This new generation love to eat butt. Wait a minute. What? Sis? So this a generational thing? Cause you never heard about women, women in their 50s when we was younger and doing it well. You didn't hear about women licking butt back then. Oh, hmm. Hell, back in the days, if you even sucked dick, you didn't want nobody to know. Better not tell nobody, because you didn't want nobody to know you got down like that. And boys would be like, if he went, munched on your little muffin, he didn't want nobody to know either. That shit was private. And now they done took it a step further. They just want to just be down on your booty hole. Mm, mm, mm. I ain't even mad about the whole booty sex, but the licking work. I just whenever I think about butts getting licked, I think about how my cat like lays down and throws a leg up and cleans her own butt, or go to a friend or family's house and they got a dog and the dog be sitting there licking its butt. It just makes me I don't even like watching my cat do that. When she does that, I turn my back because she do it right in my face. Lay there, just jump up my bed and throw that one little leg up and just go to town cleaning herself. Why can't you go someplace else to clean yourself? Why you got to do that in my motherfucking room? So for him to ask her, however that she asked him, you know, hey, you big grown 6 foot something, you gonna lick my butt? I mean, shit, I don't give a fuck how much money you got. And then I don't know if he gave the girl any money. But I mean, if you gonna be a ho, you need to get paid for that type of shit. Butt licking costs at least $25,000. It gotta be. It gotta be. You can get E. coli and bacteria from that shit. Yeah, doodle chips. Doodle chips. But everybody got a kink. But the whole thing about a kink, ask before y'all engage. I don't, I don't like surprises. When not no surprise like that. I like getting a scratch off and winning $20, and I spent $20. Um, I like, you know, somebody that you care about, you ain't seen them in a long time, a friend calling you and saying, "Hey, come to your window," and they outside, you know, and they don't live in your town. What's another good surprise? You know, um, Somebody giving you a surprise party. Surprise! Oh my God, I can't believe y'all did this for me. It's great. But not a surprise booty lick. And you ask, don't ask me no shit like that. She earned that 50 million she asking for. And Shannon ain't no little nigga. So he got probably and they said the girl said he had a big old, but I knew I knew Shannon had a big old thing. He from the country. Now I know y'all probably like, what does that have to do with it? Those down south men, they working with something different. They working with something different. Hell yeah, he had to ask Ja. That girl didn't just take the initiative to lick his butt. He asked and she obliged. Now, whatever else happened, things if she didn't want to do something and they still did it and he still did it to her, he wrong. Okay? He wrong. But then they were doing all that race play stuff, you know. So you just don't know, you know. And her talking about put a big black baby in me. You know, why couldn't it be just a baby? Why gotta be a big black baby? But if you saying shit like that, she called him the N-word. Hmm. And he called her some choice names too. Now, I'm pretty sure, you know, he called her the white B word, you little white bee and shit like that. And she probably hit him with the N-word, you know. But I just feel like there's no right time to call a black man a nigga. I don't even give a fuck if you fucking him. I don't give a fuck if you dicking you down. If you a black woman and you and a man doing it, like shit, nigga, ooh, you know, some shit like that. But you know, a non person of color can't say that shit. You know, if I was a dude and I was black and I was, you know, nailing a melanated challenged lady and she called me the N word, I'd be like, get out, get out. You done took this too far. You, what do you mean? Just, I was so caught up in the moment. Nah, get your ass up. Yeah, give me that big black cock. Now, BBC, I could see you, she could say that. Give me your big black cock. But what she can't say, because you know, motherfuckers embellish. I done seen a porn movie where they were doing some race playing and that little white chick was talking big shit. And she did call him the N-word, but she didn't say, she said, give me your big nigga cock. Yeah. But see, I'm gonna tell y'all something. Oh, I gotta cross this. Oh, Mandingo shit. Y'all know I'll be honest with y'all. Mhm. I think a lot of times brothers go over there because I have some theories, but one of my homeboys who only exclusively dates white women, he said they talk. He said they talk big shit when they doing it, you know, and they like really pump their egos up, like really overly inflates them, you know, and makes them feel like, you know, he really King Dingaling, you know, and how can I say this? This chick that he had been hitting, but they stopped doing it. She was a melanated challenge girl. She was cool with me. She liked me. She was like, "You're real cool, Rockside." I was like, okay. She told me that she got tired of faking it with him and he cheat. So, and I was like, well, what happened? She said, he's small. And she was telling him, you know, that he was a mandingo. And he wasn't. And she was telling him that shit, pumping his head up, but he wasn't pumping no money out. So she stopped liking him. Plus, he moved to Vegas, and she moved to Vegas too. I think she found out he had deep pockets, and they planned to get some. I think it's a lot. I think I think a lot of this was a setup. Well, allegedly they met at the gym, okay, that they both worked out at. And I believe that somebody dropped a bug. Well, he tried to talk to her, you know, and they met at his car and was talking outside his car. And maybe somebody told her, "Do you know who that is?" And he was just like, she was like, "No, like, who is he?" And then they told her who he was, and he liked her. And, I don't know if she liked him or not, but, hell, they have been doing it, and she licked his booty hole. That's all I could say. Brothers be over, land of cotton getting burnt. Ooh, baby. I'm just like, man, it's just always something every other motherfucking day. Some days you just, you want to wake up and only hear like maybe one bad thing. You be wanting to be, have a little bit more. He has to take responsibility for his actions. You damn right, princess. You know, you gotta take responsibility. I asked her to lick my booty and we've been fucking, and you know, say what the fuck it is. You grown, you know. I don't even know what to say. She was trying to get the rent paid. Well, see, these is things that you establish before you go licking on a motherfucker's butthole. Okay? Butthole licking, that's bill paying areas. Okay, that's bill paying areas. That's rent, car note, all the things that you need in a day-to-day life. Insurance and food for the house. You just don't lick nobody's butt for free. I'm sorry. And I ain't licked nobody's ass before. But if I did lick somebody's ass, you gotta be paying bills. My husband pay all bills now. I ain't never licked that nigga's ass. Shay Shay was warned by both Kat and Monique and didn't listen. You absolutely right. He was warned. I seen both those. I watched damn near every club Shay Shay that ever came on. Hell, I done watched Monique and Cats on more than one occasion. And she did tell him that. She told him, get you a woman your age, somebody that could cook. And he probably eats really healthy, but I'm pretty sure every so often he get off that healthy thing for at least maybe one day a week or one day a month, because he still got a beautiful, beautiful physique, So he probably, he a country man. This nigga from the country. So he eat greens and cornbread. You know, he need him a good greens and cornbread. A lady like a name, not Bertha, because that's too old. He need like a Janet or Marianne. Mm-hmm. And just call it Ma. Um, or like a Tiffany. He just need a sister. Sisters could be freaky too, but I'm sure that's when Princess said this new generation out here licking butt, you know. Uh, mm, yeah, hold on, y'all. Princess said the new generation. She said licking butt's the new thing. When did licking butt become fashionable? I done seen butt licking in flicks before, but that was like a porno movie. And if it's just a bunch of young butt licking people out here right now, that hurts. Oh my God. If it's a bunch of young butt licking people, licking the nigga's butt don't keep him. Even letting the nigga screw you in the butt won't keep him. They think that those are things that keep a man. That ain't what keep no man. Shit. I'm gonna show him. I'm gonna lick his fucking ass. That don't keep him. If he got his butt licked by one, somebody else done been back there too. Just licking and lapping. On one said he offered 10 million. To me, that shows some kind of guilt. I think it probably one of those times that, she, didn't want him to put his thing back there and he did it anyway. And no means no, you know. But he didn't offer her 10 million probably until she started saying that she was gonna sue his ass. I don't know what's gonna happen. I know one thing, he needs to stay away from, hey Pixie, my baby, you know, you need to stay away from motherfuckers back there at the Hershey Highway entrance. Entrance 666. No, man. They also poop on each other. That's some new weird shit. What? What are you saying to me? See, I ain't had no alcohol because my back been hurting and shit. They boo-booing on each other. Hold up. Oh, mm, that's when I don't have nothing to say. So they out here boo-booing on each other too. I knew people was doing the squirting shit and then want to convince everybody, oh no, it's not pee. Yes, it is, baby. Yes, it is. I am 54 years old and I done did my share of fucking and busted some big old nuts. You don't bust nuts that big. I'm sorry. You stop acting like you extraordinary and go pee before you do stuff so you won't get a urinary tract infection. Okay? It's really not new. That's fetish. It's been underground a long time, i.e. R. Kelly into it. Oh, hold on, y'all. I'm gonna go get me some champagne because that shit just made my head hurt. It's called scat. I know you like. Now, okay, before I try to get up, I had a girlfriend. Okay, this was in the. I met her in '89. All right, no, I met her in '98. Yeah, when I came back to Chicago from New York. Now she was a call girl, and she used to go to this one dude's house, and she told me that he would lay plastic on the floor and she would poop and pee on him and leave. That's all he wanted. She said she didn't give a fuck what else he did, but that's a business exchange, you know. He wanted doo-doo and she had it. And he would only do it like once every 2 weeks. And he paid the bitch $1,000 every time she did it, you know. But that's different. Cause I mean to me that's business. But when you just trying to be intimate with somebody, do that oh my God. Do they ask? Because these kids is too young to be doing this. Yeah, I heard that on Jessie Woo's channel, and she was acting like many do that. Well, I be damn. I don't even like going in the bathroom behind somebody after they take a shit. let alone, oh, people, what happened to just regular old fucking? Just good old missionary spoon position, doggy style, reverse cowboy. I mean, reverse cowgirl. Whatever happened to just regular shit? Little dick sucking, little pussy eating, some kissing. You know. Now you gotta pee on a motherfucker and doo doo. Cause that's not shit. That's doo dooing on a motherfucker. And what makes you get to a point where you be like, you know what? I would like to try that. What? You okay? You good? What's wrong? That's some shit that would have me fight a motherfucker. When my kids were little bitty and they were babies, and I was changing one of their diapers, and I went and raised their leg up, to wipe them, motherfucker farted and shitted on me. Yeah, I had doodle on me. And I was just like, I wanted to toss that little motherfucker. Okay? Like that meme where the lady tossing the baby out the window. I wanted to toss that motherfucker. I'm like, you doodled on me. But that was my child. And but then the motherfucker smiled, like, eh. But the baby might have had gas in his stomach and you hold the baby's legs up to clean it. And then he pooed it and shit it, you know. But that's my baby's doo doo. That's my baby shit. That's my child. I'm changing his diaper. Wish a grown motherfucker would have ever. Can you shit on me or can I shit on you? And then people expect you not to look at them like they crazy when they ask you some wild shit like that. Like, oh, it's the new rage. It's called scat. What? Oh, Lord have mercy. I gotta try to get out this seat and get back to the kitchen, y'all. That just did something to me. Oh, I'm trying to wheel the phone to move over here, my house phone, to call my son to get it. But I'm gonna have to get it myself. So hold on, y'all. Let me get my faculties. Cause this shit done fucked me up emotion. Okay, hold on. My back hurt. I don't think I don't think a little champagne would hurt that prednisone. Okay, y'all, I'll be right back. Oh, my word. Ooh. Okay, I'm back. Give me a second. Whew, that's too much. Oh, shit. Oh, my stomach. Oh, my stomach hurts, starting to hurt. Oh, okay, I'm back. Let me plug my phone. Ooh. I need to spray some of this William Sonoma air freshener. Oh. Hey, sexy 65. Val was looking for you tonight. Mm, mm, mm. Oh, Lord. I would have been home by now, but I stopped at the drive-thru. I'm exhausted. Oh, but get you something to eat, Miss Princess, and get on in the house, baby. Please. Please, please, please. Yes, and please hit the like button, you all. Please hit the like button. I don't even know how to see if anybody hit it or not, because I don't know where to find it. So, but if Pixie does says hit the thumbs up, hit the motherfucking thumbs up, please. Thank you so much. But yeah, all this booty talk got my stomach hurting a little. So these young kids just out here doing the most. Mm, mm, mm. That's just crazy. Oh, you asleep? Okay, sex. Well, you make sure when she does her live again, you just like Pixie did, let her know that I did tell you that you was looking for her, that she was looking for you. So yeah, these newfangled kids, y'all. I don't know what it is. Lord, I don't even know what to say. I watched the NFL draft tonight. I watched the NFL draft. That was good. And everybody was young. And I wonder if they just accepting doo-doo. Now I can't get that out of my head. There's too much ass licking and all this other shit going on. I just don't understand what just happened to regular fucking. What happened? 15 likes, 14 watching. Oh wow. Thank you so much, you all. And thank you, Princess, for thank you, Miss Lovebug, for letting me know. Licking and sticking each other and you know, Shannon just a few years older than me. Nigga, you too old to be getting your old ass licked on back there. Oh, that. But knowing Shannon, he might go get waxed or something, get his booty hole waxed, you know. Come on now. But Cat Williams told him, and and Monique told him. And then when he sat there, it's like, my grandmama said, don't be lying on your grandmama, Shannon. She might have said that, but you done went against every motherfucking thing your grandmama ever told you. Your grandmama, your mama, whoever told you, you just done went. You just discarded all those good old down south fundamentals they gave you. Out here getting your old. He qualifies for an AARP card. Once you qualify for an AARP card, ass licking should be out the question. Shit, that shit, you know, motherfuckers be looking healthy and fuck around and have a heart attack, motherfucker, put their tongue back there. Send a joke through you or some shit. You cut that shit out. But he probably did. That shit didn't start with that girl, that butt licking. It didn't start with her. It didn't start with her. Shannon been getting his ass licked on. He been getting that booty hole licked. And then he just goes and see if somebody else can lick it, I guess. Mm-mm-mm. Pixie? Okay, never mind. I watched the draft too. No but no Shador Sanders tonight though. Yeah. He didn't get picked tonight. And he looks so much like his daddy. But I think Dion got finer as he got older. Cause I remember Dion had a Jerry curl. Mm-hmm. Dion looks very polished now. Some men just aged better. You know, when they were younger playing football, you was just like, ill. And now they older and they just look very distinguished and shit. That's Dion came into his looks. He had an S curl. That's what it was, Princess. I'm sick of former slaves asking me, can they smell it? I don't want to know where their tongue has been. Cause that's all that still works. That you know what? He probably pop him a Viagra. No matter how healthy he is, he probably go get his prostate checked and all that. He probably, his yang probably still working, but he probably get a little extra with that shit. Okay. All right, Pixie. Thank you so much. Pixie's Pixie is the designated chat mover up. Yeah, that's just crazy. But we just gonna wait and see what happens. Um, it's all very strange, you know. Now that I'm finding out this is a new thing, I'm gonna have to talk to my children. You just ask them. You ain't out here licking no ass, is you? Don't be doing that shit. And then these people who licking all this butt, these some unmarried ass lickers. At least you lick the motherfucker who married you's ass. You don't just lick anybody's ass. I mean, that's just my personal opinion. And like I said, I ain't never licked no ass. But if I did, I wouldn't have a problem with telling y'all I licked a little ass before. But I ain't never ventured down the Hershey Trail. Mm-mm. Nope. That shit is that shit don't turn that just don't sound right. Mm-mm-mm. Very strange. Very, very strange. Dion did get better looking. Yeah, Dion got better looking. A lot of those former athletes, they coaching and they NFL correspondents and shit, they look very nice now. They wasn't cute back then. And Tom Brady be sports commentating, but Tom Brady always been fine. Okay, that's a fine white man. He always been fine. Licking in, kiss me, hell no. Hell no. I mean, if she licked his butt and he kissed that girl in the mouth, you might as well put um Shannon on the Rick James cover of his album when he was wearing those red boots leaning up against that light pole. He is a super freak. Mm-mm. And then, there'll be people be like, but that's his part of his body. You should be able to kiss. No, that's doo-doo. That's where doo-doo come from. Okay? That's where doo-doo come from. That's all I'm saying. I just don't know what happened to good old regular fucking, y'all. I guess that ain't enough. my neck, my back, and I think lick my pussy and my crack. Yeah, but I don't, I feel like, hold on, y'all, I gotta reposition myself and sit back. It's starting to hurt. Hold on. Let me do this. Okay. Whew, Lord. Oh, but when I went to the hospital yesterday, they said my blood pressure was really good. They were like, "You in a lot of pain and your blood pressure is good." I was like, "I don't even have time for my blood pressure to be high. I can only focus on one thing at a time. I don't want nobody else's poison." Mm-mm. Tom Brady, Roxy, you sound like my mama. She swear Tom Brady fine. Tom Brady fine. That's a good looking white man. He really is. He just look like Tom Brady looked like the white man's white man. You know what I mean? He the white man that white men want to look like. Tom Brady handsome enough where a white man would be like, "Gosh darn it, that's a handsome chap right there." Because Tom Brady just a good looking man. Shit, Tom Brady's a handsome ass dude. I like regular freaky funny, not no boo boo, just regular freaky. But you know what, Pixie? Maybe regular freaky ain't good enough for people no more. You know, what gets the next person off, you know, that's on them. That's on them. But it's weird. It's just a little bit strange. But we just gotta wait and see and see what they talking about and um, you know, um Princess, when you get a minute, can you please mind Pixie for me? Um, you just gotta, you just don't know. Lick it now. Lick it. Don't make me laugh. That make my back hurt. My neck, my back. But to me, that's something a dude would do to you. That's 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 something you don't give it. You don't do that to no dude. No woman. You shouldn't. That's why I say single people. And now we see this shit is extending over to older men. If you're a single lady and you're going out on a date and you want to just cut to the chase, bring your list with you. Your two different lists, the regular list and the nasty list. But you also let the motherfucker know I'm gonna be asking you some questions at dinner or after dinner while we having a cocktail. And you need to write some questions down too to ask me. Okay. That way, if anything ever transpires between us, we not shocked. Because if you ask a motherfucker in your list, do you like getting your booty licked, sir? And he goes, oh no. But then y'all in the heat of passion, and he be like, lick my hands. I'm calling the police. I call the police. Someone please call 911. Just like that. If you don't get your ass out my house, please. Yeah. You gotta be able to. Okay, move the chat up for me, Pix. Okay, well, you just keep moving the chat up. Thank you so much, Pixie. I appreciate you. I just feel like maybe they don't watch too many porno movies. I don't know what it is. You know, and I don't watch my share of flicks. Right. Have your list ready. And you know what? Do the right thing. That is a really good thing. You compile your list and then you go get a bunch of copies of it and you just keep it. So when you go out on dates, you could just take it with you. And motherfucker might think you crazy. You know, they might think you crazy for even asking that. But what I think is it's not crazy. I think it's safe in this day and age to ask the questions. You know, that's why some are signing those contracts, those NDAs. Okay, people sign NDAs, but NDAs only work when nothing illegal has taken place. If something illegal or nefarious has taken place, that actually cancels out the NDA. Okay? A lot of people don't know that, but that's what it does. Non-disclosure agreement. You sign it, you're not supposed to say anything. But if some sort of crime was committed, that quashes the NDA. Okay? But if you go into a place and with somebody and they make you sign an NDA and they force you to do something that you don't want to do, they can't look at you and say, don't forget about the NDA. That NDA is out the window. It is null and void at that point. But who want to hang out with motherfuckers that you got to sign an NDA? What the fuck is you doing that you don't want me talking about? If you just going to a regular motherfucking party, hanging out, eating some hors d'oeuvres, having some drinks and shit like that, you know, talking to people, what's the problem? What I gotta sign an NDA for that about? To me, if you want me to sign an NDA, you already starting off with some shit that something ain't right. George Clooney is looking good to me. George Clooney been fine since he first time I ever seen him on like Family Ties. George Clooney been fine. And he always had a nice head of hair. And now he done silvered really well. And they say him and his wife, they might be headed for divorce. Hmm. But that's not, that's not none of my business. But they say they might be getting a divorce. Shit. But he is fine. He has always been a handsome man. And you know who was real handsome too? Mark Harmon. He was good looking. And I've always liked Tom Selleck. I always liked the man. Woo, Magnum PI. He had all that chest hair, and I like a good rug on a man's chest. Yeah, Kevin Costner fine as hell. Kevin Costner really aged good. He got that goatee and all that gray ass hair. He's very handsome. He's very handsome. But I don't know these newfangled people. I thought he was on Facts of Life. Oh, it's the Facts of Life. I don't know why I said Family Ties. Can somebody look that up? Cause I swore I seen him on Family Ties. Please look it up. I'm going to find me a fine old white man, black don't crack, so he won't know how old I am. I know that's right. Just I'm not even outside of people dating out their race. Just date out your race for the right reasons. Not because you done grew up in a black neighborhood, got a black mama, black grandmother, black aunties, your black sisters and cousins, and then you go to college and now you get you a white girl. But it was Facts of Life. Oh, okay. Mark Harmon still. Oh, that's right. He was from Mork and Mindy. Mm-mm-mm. Oh, he used to like Joe. Okay. He played maintenance man and like Joe. Damn. That's why STDs and HIV, all of these other diseases everywhere, because being cautious about sex. Move the chat up. Nancy McKeon. Okay. Oh, I'm catching a hot flash, y'all. And I can't get this robe off. You know, I seen a very disturbing video the other day on Facebook. It was a motherfucker pumping gas. She had on like a blue skirt with this blue little shirt. And I thought it was a girl until she started stroking her junk through the skirt. And then a guy came up and rubbed it too. I was like, oh, wow. I was like, maybe I'm seeing things. I watched it twice. Okay, I watched it 3 times. But it was just like on Facebook. I just couldn't believe it. I was like, what? They just put anything out here about having sex, especially if they trying to enter raw dog. It's too much shit going on. You know. Strap up. Tell your kids, grandkids. Hold on. Neighbor kids. You know, tell motherfuckers to strap up. Motherfuckers out here catching shit. Ooh, that feels so much better. I got this, I don't usually wear these many clothes, but I got this thing on my back, one of those patches as big as hell. And I've been keeping the shirt on so the patch don't roll off on the side. It's a lidocaine patch. But yeah, it's just out here. And you know what's even crazier? Is people who have shit and don't tell people because they angry, because they have something. And that's fucked up. It's a lot of selfish, weird shit going on. And sometimes, I'll be like, if I was young again, I'm cool. I'm cool. I'm cool at 54. I'm cool with who I am. Um, if you can just go back for maybe a day or two and change it, do a little tweak some things in life. But, I don't think I would want to be my kids' age. Um, I wouldn't want to grow up now. This is boring. It's dangerous. These kids don't be having, you know, I was gonna say a lidocaine patch, and this prescription strength lidocaine patch is strong. But when my husband put that motherfucker on my back, it's cold as hell. I was like, ooh. But Maddie said these kids don't even dance when they go out. They just sit in the bars and little nightclubs and just be on their telephone. They dance like they ain't got shit to do. Motherfuckers don't know how to have conversations. You know, they text everything, just text, and they can text so fast. Their fingers just be moving. I be seeing Maddie laughing and talking with her friends through text messages. Her fingers move fast as motherfucking lightning. You know, shit. I gotta use a stylus pen and all that other shit. Thank God they have talk text, and I could hit the button and be like, such and such, such a, I could talk that shit in. Hold on, let's see if it work on here. Hi, how are you? No, I don't work on here. And do video games. I don't have a problem with the video games. And I'm gonna tell you why. My youngest son, when Aston's not at work, Aston be on his video games faithfully. But his room right by the kitchen. So I hear him because he got the headsets, little walkie-talkie mic thing, and him and his friends talk. And sometimes they talk about world issues, all sorts of shit. And they're able to articulate, they're able to have a diatribe and talk to one another. And I like that. It's the kids who don't know how to communicate and and don't know how to communicate effectively. You know, that's the crazy part to me, the lack of communication, the lack of being able to just hold conversations, use, yes, social skills. You know, these kids don't know how to read rooms, people. Everything is through, text message. How do you, back in the days, people would write letters. And I guess that's taken over letter writing. But how can you, if you can talk in a text, but you can't communicate through your mouth when you write in front of a person, that shit is weird. I don't know what's going on in the world. All I could do is stay prayerful. you know, um, but I feel like the women and men in my chat who have kids, I think everyone's kids are probably really well rounded because you all are well rounded adults. It's a lack of parenting. It's a lack of so many things. Foxy, I just got, wait, I gotta just talk about I appreciate why I major and minor in art and don't draw shit. I'm pissed because I put money in. Wow. Got a major and a minor in art and now don't draw shit. I'm pissed. I put my money into it. Pixie, it's still a degree. Some places, as long as they see that degree, they can work with them and train them for the job. Could have done art and business. Yeah, yeah, but just give it time. The baby got the degree, you know. Um, I think it will work out fine. You never know. Somebody might hire your baby to parlay it into their career. Maybe they want them to be a sketcher for a large company, working as a bank teller now. Ain't nothing wrong with working as a bank teller, Pixie. I know how you feel. I understand what you're saying. You put money out and you want to see a different return. But baby, count your blessings because there are people out here whose kids don't even have that and don't work. And some people's kids can't even work at a bank because they already got a felony. You know, you can always change that and go into your field. Yeah. You just never know what might turn up, you know. But at least your baby got a job. You know, it's kids out here the same age as your baby can't hold a job. Do you know what you the background check you have to pass to work at a bank? The bank is might be privately owned, but that money that's in that bank are federal notes coming from the federal depository. So it's kind of a government job too, because you fucking with the government's money. Okay? I got friends out here, babies out here in these streets, cracking motherfuckers in the head, calling. You think I could? My baby got locked up. Word? What happened? Oh, he was in a stolen car with his friends, but he didn't steal it. Don't ask me for no money. Don't ask me for no money. If your friends didn't have a car one day and now they got a car and you getting the motherfucker and the steering column has been popped, that's a stolen car. Exit through the left or right door if you in the back seat. If you was in the passenger seat up front, get out. I'm not driving around in this stolen ass, hot ass shit. That's a choice. You make a choice to get in that motherfucker and you see the steering column pop. Ain't nothing you could tell me. Oh, I lost my key. With a screwdriver sticking in this motherfucker? No. Mm-mm. Absolutely not. Yep. Could become a bank manager. That's a career. It might not be the career you wanted for them. I've been on my feet. I've been, wait, I've been, my feet and legs are swollen. It hurts. Girl, hop in the shower and put them on the pillow and elevate them. I'm sorry, friend. I know you had a long ass day. I know you did. And I would like to know everything that happened because, I be nosy. But yeah, don't be too flustered, baby. Your baby's still young. And like I said, count your blessings. Count your blessings. Your baby is a law abiding, no felonies, no misdemeanors. Okay? I used to have to deal with the feds and the popo, fucking popo and FBI. Well, you know, when motherfuckers tell me they work at the bank, I automatically know you ain't no motherfucking thief. I know that you don't have any priors on your record because the government is trusting you with their money. And the customers see you, you know, so they trusting you with their money. In this day and age, if a young person just working, thank God. But your baby something else might come along. Maybe your baby go study business, get an associate's in business. Now you got the art and the business. Can go and when you study, oh, when you study art, you learn about when you oh when you study art, you learn about things that have to do with art. You learn about artists and lines and scale of art. Fuck around and be an art dealer. You know how much money art dealers can make because they have an eye for it. You know what I mean? No, she ain't. She needs a plan. My mama, same position, and I had to hear about that every day. Just give it time, baby. Don't give up. I've worked and then primarily at school. Stopped at fire. Went home. Damn. Went home, inflated some balloons, took and started. Backdrop. Sat at home. Set up. I'm home. Wow. Yeah, that's a long day. Whatever. All I knew is the baby doesn't look happy or healthy anymore. She might not be, but then that's for her, for y'all to tell her, start looking for something else. Look for something in the art world. You'll be surprised what companies might hire for people who have a degree in art. It's not out the realm. I don't know how to shop for themselves. Their money is hard. They're lost. Yeah, yeah. You know, they don't even teach kids to write checks anymore in school. It's crazy. Oh, wow. Well, baby might just be depressed right now. I think you should talk to baby and have baby look into some other lines of work. Companies hire artists. They do. Good night, do the right thing. Good night, good night, good night. You know, I'm just gonna pray for your baby that something comes her way that will make her happy and make her more fulfilled. You know, the bank could just be a stepping stone to something greater. That's just my thought. You know, why would they? Debt and folks don't accept checks. You know who accepts checks? Mortgage companies. Car note motherfuckers. Yeah. Your your insurance people. Those motherfuckers still accept checks. They surely do. They do. You know, but it's just a damn shame. Eventually that's gonna be archaic. You know, it already is archaic. But as long as you still have a checking account, you know, you go to the bank, they ask you, you want paper checks? You know, we stopped getting paper checks because now we just get a bank check. We found out we get bank checks for free. Let me get a bank check. When y'all be with me some days and I go to the bank and I go in there with those bills, I take them out, slide them, put the account number and put their name and this much and put Jason as remitter. You know, younger people are dealing with a lot of issues today. They really are 65. They really are. It just don't seem fun to be young anymore. And I think one of the worst things is it's already the young people not having look like they having a good time. It's a bunch of old ass fools out here too. And when I say older, you know, if you in your 30s, you young to me. If you 35 and under, you my oldest child is 35 years old. So, but it's some 40-year-old fools out here, some 50-year-old fools, you know, and ain't nothing worse than an old dummy. I hate an immature ass adult. I let kids slide, but then you got some immature grown motherfuckers out here. And those are the ones that make my ass itch. No wonder the kids they ain't got no good sense because they got immature ass adults around. Adults who don't know how to have conversations. Adults who roll their neck too much and all that other shit. She doesn't want to do anymore. God, Roxy, she has so much talent. I wish she go to architect. with going into architecture. But if I say something, I'm a bad aunt. Let her figure it out. When she sees some of her counterparts that, you know, they might not went to the same school and they went into what they major was and they making nice money. She might be like, fuck it, let me just go get this real quick. And it's not to keep up with the Joneses shit. She want more money, But like I said, I'm gonna stay positive and prayerful that something comes about where she can do something different. Oh, y'all, what the fuck was that? Hold on. I can't move. People just we living in an interesting time. Nope, I ain't saying shit. Roxy, all of them are not making it. Wow. Well, I feel like when they young, you got a little time. I think it will eventually all work out. But Pixie, she gotta understand she not happy. And she has to be honest with herself because she has to take care of herself. You can tell these kids things till you turn blue in the face. And sometimes they'll listen and sometimes they don't. Sometimes kids have their own walk and it's not the walk you want for them. And then they might walk their own walk and it don't come to fruition. And then they think back, damn, my mama said, my daddy said, my grandmama said, my aunt said, I should have did X, Y, and Z. And I didn't listen. I'm a firm believer. It's people going back to school in their motherfucking 50s and 60s. My cousin, who I love, she is my big cousin. I am 54. Rhoda, almost 60. She went back to school and became an RN. She sure in the fuck did. And I am proud of her. I talked to my cousin Rhoda 2 weeks ago. No, 3 weeks ago. And I said, because I'm so fucking proud of you. She got all her kids grown. She got 2 little grandbabies. They don't live with her, nothing like that. And my cousin took that time and she went back to college and my cousin is a RN now, a whole registered nurse. And I'm overly proud of her. It's never too late. Princess, full-time teacher, full-time student, and still doing stuff for people's parties, decorating. And my friend just getting home 30 minutes ago at 12 something at night. Feet hurt, legs swollen. She gonna take a shower, eat her food, go to sleep, and she gonna get up and do it again. When I talk to her and she says, I'm just at home. Are you leaving? You going anywhere? And she says no, I breathe a sigh of relief. Because she's always doing, going, and doing stuff for other people. Selflessness. sacrifice. She's 27 and has family support and still hasn't had her first apartment yet. So what, Pixie? You know what's crazy? Hold on, let me sit up. Oh, this is crazy that you would say, because Val and I were having this conversation and we were trying to figure out when to talk about this. And it is I told my children, like, as they have gotten older, my oldest boy, he be here sometime, in and out. Asked him, he's going to redo the police test. He got the call. They're going to be doing another police test. Maddie is still figuring things out and going to school. I personally don't believe. Only way I tell my kids to leave my house is if they wasn't doing shit and talking too much smack to me and you ain't paying no bills. When you in my shit, me and my husband, there's only one way to do shit in this motherfucker. My way. And when you feel like you can get out in the world and do it on your own, go open that door. But my door is open for my children. My daughters, if my oldest daughter lived in Chicago and she could live with me until she married. Unless she was doing too much in my house, then you gotta get the fuck out. My kids don't be doing too much. So they can stay here. Me and Val were gonna have this conversation and I'm gonna speak with her about it tomorrow. These kids move out later now. It's okay. Keep her close to you. Exactly, Princess. Exactly. Let me put that up there. You know what? White folks don't put their kids out. They kids, sometimes they daughters and sons will live with them until they get married. Or, they get older and they done worked and saved up money. And guess what? They not renting. They going to buy their first little condo or their first starter house. Then they get married. And then they stay in their own shit. And then they sell that and go move something bigger, especially if they getting ready to work on the family. Keep her close. If it was her time to leave and live someplace else, God will move her for that. Black people be real good about sending kids out into the world. Yeah, she got a degree and she working. At home, probably the place that she needs to be. When it's time for her to get her own baby, she'll get her own. Aston said, Alex, come here. What's wrong? You what? What are you looking for? Oh yeah, I folded up. Um, I don't feel like I look at other people and I look at how they keep how their kids, how their whole families will live with them. And as they work and build money, then they leave. But they leave financially secure. I told Aston, when you become a police officer, you stay with us for 2 years. Save your money. Now, my husband makes him pay a few little bills. Be like a bill that's $50, $60, $100 bill. But the big bills, my husband covers those big bills himself. We want our children to get on their feet, then move out. I feel secure. I sleep better knowing that my kids are financially sound. Move out if they want to go rent, move out. Make sure you have enough money that when you go sign your contract and these motherfuckers expecting the first month's rent and the security deposit, give those motherfuckers 4 months rent and a security deposit. Let them see that you on your business. Give yourself wiggle room. If my back wasn't hurting, I would wiggle my motherfucking shoulders. Give yourself wiggle room. Now, yeah, when Aston move out of here, 9 times out of 10, Aston gonna have him a mortgage. My baby say he want him a condo downtown. He don't have no kids, and he got expensive hobbies, video games and comic books and action figures. That's his shit. He needs his own shit. But he gonna leave when I know he can do this. Because this is how his father and I have raised him. Whoever marry Aston, gonna have a good man. He's a good man, Savannah. He gonna be a good man. Cause every last bill in this motherfucker is paid. Aston has seen his father work. He sees how his father is taking care of family. Aston is 23. He not ready. And when your baby ready, you'll know. Cause my baby ain't ready. I give my child to the world. When the spirit tells me, yeah, if he ready to go, it's time. Trust and believe me, baby. I'm gonna stay prayerful for yours. I really am. It's gonna be okay. Keep it close. Keep it close. When you open a new account at banks, you get a couple checks. I just opened an account and ordered online because I don't want to use my main bank. I got 3 checks. Okay, that makes good sense. Miss Mary says, my daughter stayed home until marriage. She graduated from college with her teaching degree. Yes, honey. Yes. And she stayed at home until she got married. You got time to know who you were handing your daughter off to. And then you released her to him. But you knew he was the right one. He could take care of your daughter, any children they have. You could sleep at night because she's with a man and she waited. And I think that's a beautiful, beautiful thing. My daughters can live with me and to King get another drink. My mama put me out right after I dropped out of college, Ball State. She told me I read about Capricorns and you let them go. But she helped me. Believe me, she would help her. But these kids knew, baby. These kids ain't like how we were. And guess what? Rent ain't what it used to be. It's not. It will all work out in time. Just keep her close. When it's time, she'll know. She'll start hinting. I think I might want to get an apartment. I think I might want to do this. But what, she ain't good at saving. Shit, tell her every time she get paid, give you $300 of a check. And you save it for her. And then when the time comes and she ready to move, hell, she probably have enough motherfucking money to pay damn near a year's worth of rent and start all over again. My 22-year-old still home, and my 30-year-old just came back. Sexy, 35, who just came in here. Aston, 23. Maddie getting ready to be 21 next month. I'm they mama. My door always gonna be open. My legs was open to have them. My legs is open to make them. As long as motherfucker ain't got no drug problem, no alcohol problems, motherfuckers hit hard times. I'm their mama. Shit. Please, white people, when their parents get elderly, they just want the property and money. Then they put them in a nursing home where I work. I had to do that. There's nothing wrong with a nursing home, okay? If you're dealing with an ailing parent who maybe has dementia, Alzheimer's, or sick, and you can't do it in your house, but you can afford to put them in a nice nursing home, just don't dump them there. Because I hear about a lot of people who take their parents and just leave them there. They don't do shit for them. Shame on you. You just sitting back waiting for them to go. I'm going to tell y'all a story. It's a Roxanne story time. It's a Roxanne story time. Let me just read these comments real quick and I'm going to tell y'all this true story. Happened to someone I know. I have 3 daughters, 1 set of twins. Wow. And I told them I would go half on deposit and first month's rent and did the same for my firstborn. And that's beautiful. But you didn't tell them to get out your house or nothing. But you helped them. And congratulations to you, Mom, for being fucking awesome. That's a good heads up. Pixie, I love my niece. Believe that. I ain't never had 4 months wiggle room. Well, guess what? She can get it. She can get it. She can have a year's worth of wiggle room. Just save $300 to $400, $200 out of every paycheck. The more she can save, that she can put to the side, the more she'll have when she is ready to leave the nest. She doesn't have kids either. She good people. And I believe she good people. Tell her to save some money. Tell her to give it to you. I don't know if you have a safe deposit box or not, but shit. I'm gonna talk to somebody because I know somebody that can help with getting her started in some stocks. And these are not very risky, but the benefit is very will be very good. And it's almost like a saving thing. Well, maybe not now with dude in office. Just every time she give you money, put in the envelope, and put it in the bank. Get the smallest safe deposit box they got and put it in there. Put it in there. She fuck around and have enough money to do whatever the fuck she want to do in her house. Not only will she have enough to pay several months of rent, she could furnish that motherfucker. She could have a nice housewarming party and people come bring her pots and pans and bath towels and shit like that. She young, 27 young. She'll get it together. So this is a story about that's not going. I'm glad all three of my daughters are here. Man, when, I got seven, two of them got family. My daughter Amanda, we just waiting on something. She coming to Chicago. My number two, he coming to Chicago. So just to have a portion of my kids in the house with me, wherever I am, will be fine. Now, shit, I love getting up and peeking and seeing them because they at home with their mama where I know it's safe, where I know I can keep my eye out, where I know that if you come in here, I'm going to push your shit back because you ain't going to fuck with my husband or my kids. I sleep good knowing where my kids are. That's just me. I work there. My mom at home. I work at AT&T. Oh, okay, my fault. Well, it's people who just drop their parents off. You seen it. You work there. Your mama not there, but you seen people drop their parents off and just skedaddle. True story. That's what kind of student loans or something else. Guess what? Student loans gonna be there. She working, she can get the minimum payment on student loan. I got an answer for everything, Pixie. Money market, yeah. Put in a money market. Shit, Maddie got student loans. Shit. And what the loans didn't cover, her daddy had to. Rent, food. And guess what? She always, I wanna pay you back. I wanna do the only payback her father and I want is to see her walk across that stage and get that fucking degree. We're your parents. I was like, your loan. Girl, we got that. Don't worry about it. Do school. And then the whole world is yours. You might have a loan in your name, but I guarantee you it will be paid off. It most definitely will. So, but God bless her. Yeah, and she got you, Pixie, and she'll be okay. Yep, that's a good idea too, Mary D. Let her pay, not even completely off, but get it down, low. You know what I mean? Get it down as low as possible. And then, it might be $100 a month, you know. But you know what, Pixie? Some people, you're equipped if you had to take care of your mother because you know what it entails. Some people don't. Then some kids are just selfish asses who drop their parents off at nursing homes and just don't go see them. So let me tell y'all this story. This is some years ago. It was after me and Craig had broke up. And I moved back to Chicago. And I got a job. Shh, don't tell nobody. And I was working in this real fancy grocery store. It was downtown Chicago. and it was attached to the Saks Fifth Avenue building, which has apartments upstairs and shit. There was this dude, he used to come into our, to the grocery store. He was a black guy. He was an older cat, real cool. And he was the doorman for the apartment building where the grocery store was. And like I said, Saks Fifth Avenue was in that motherfucker too. And there was this old white woman who lived in the building. I used to see him because he would come in the store and get coffee and soda and shit like that, talk shit with the black people. And then like on days like when everyone was getting off around the same time, there was a bar that we used to go to and drink and chill. And there was this little old white woman in the building. Okay. Money. Long, long money. She had kids. She had 3 kids, 2 sons and a daughter. They had kids. This gentleman would take her to the doctor on his days off. He would take her grocery shopping. He would do everything she needed him to do. And when she took ill, because she lived right down the street from Northwestern Hospital, when she took ill, he took her to the hospital. She never came home from the hospital. Her kids planned their mother's service, had her service, and then they had to meet her attorney. Her attorney, he told me, shows up at his job. She done passed away. Remember, he's a doorman. So the attorney comes and tells him, hey, gives him a card and writes down a time that he wants him to come along with her family because they need to do the reading of her will, of her estate. They call it reading of the will, but when you get there and you find out something different, then you're like, oh, okay. So he goes. He took off work that day. He said he went, and it was somewhere downtown. And he's sitting there, and the first thing that happened was, dude gave the speech, and he said, your mom wants you all to see something. The attorney plays a video. It's the old lady. And she's admonishing her children about how they never did anything for her. How they lived downtown too and wouldn't come see her. And how this doorman took her to everything, every place, every doctor's appointment, everything. Do you know she left him every last bit of her money? Millions and millions and millions of dollars. She left him her condo. She had like 5 bedrooms. This downtown Chicago. She left him her vehicles that she wasn't even driving, that just sat in the garage in the basement of this building. Because whenever you would take her somewhere, he would drive. She got too old to drive. She left him just, oh, she left him a lot of shit. Because when her husband passed, hi, my Doom. How are you, my baby? When her husband passed, he left her straight. And since her kids did not visit her on holidays, this man was coming to get this old white woman and taking her to his house with his family for Christmas and Thanksgiving. He lived in Roseland. She lived downtown on fucking Superior. And it paid off. And he wasn't expecting anything from her. You know, she would he would take her places. She would slide him $100. He never thought, I'm going to bed, just wanted to stop by and say, hey, thank you, my Doom. Thank you, baby. I appreciate you. And my back is getting there. It's a lot better than what the fuck it was. The bitch was in pain. I thought I was gonna die. But she left him all her money. And then kids, he said they was in there. He said they got real mad. You know, he said they was about to ready to call him a nigga. Like, who is this nigga? You didn't even know this was your mom's doorman. He didn't even know this was the one who was helping their mama when they wouldn't. And the kids said, we gonna fight it. You know, video went off, we gonna fight it. Attorney dropped that that good attorney knowledge. Oh, you can't fight it. It's not a will, it's a trust. And you can't usurp a trust, but you can usurp a will. Hence, everyone, once again, I'll say it again. If you have a home, if you have a car, if you have any motherfucking thing that you want to leave to anyone, put it in trust. Write it in a trust because you cannot usurp a trust, but you sure in the fuck can usurp a will. All my shit is in trust. Everything. But see, I also got contingencies with my money. Cause this ain't my husband's money. This is just my money. My husband ain't got no contingencies. But the money for my kids, oh yeah, it's contingencies attached to that. And they can't nobody change it. Either you do it or you don't get shit. It's amazing when you're the boss of your own life. But that old lady was the boss and she left everything to him. That man had an estate sale for all that expensive ass furniture and jewelry she had. He sold that condo. Well, he had a broker sell the condo. All that money she left him, that man took that money and his wife and his kids, and he moved, had a house built down in Mississippi, a big ass house. And that is where he lives with his family. And he left Chicago and he is doing just fine. He is my Facebook friend. That's why I do not want to say his name. And he is living very well off of being kind. You'll be surprised how God will bless you with a little kindness, especially when he wasn't expecting to get anything from her. Not a motherfucking thing. But he said he knew that her kids wasn't shit. And she didn't want to go into a nursing home, but she didn't need to because, you know, she was cool. She had her faculties. But she just got old. And I think somewhere along the line, the old broad's heart was broken. To have your kids living in Lincoln Park, which is right down the street, and you don't come pick your mama up for Thanksgiving or Christmas. But your mama leave with the doorman. He came and picked her up on those holidays. He had seniority. He was older. And he would pick her up and take her to all his family holidays. This is a Jewish woman going to a Baptist church. And she enjoyed herself. and his kids called her Nana and stuff like that. They like that old lady. She left them lovely. My friend don't never have to work. His wife don't work. Sometimes it's, just treating your parents right. It makes me mad when people just dump them and don't come visit them. That's hurtful. But oh baby, you reap what you sow. Listen up. You will reap what you sow. Because one day her children will get old. And they'll be surprised at why they kids doing them like that. Kids learn from example. It's the example that you set for your children. And then when they sitting around like, oh, little Billy won't bring the kids over. And when I called and asked him, he told me, Dad, I don't have time. I got to be on the golf course at I got a 1 o'clock tea time. So if we learn anything, be kind, keep your kids close, and love on your parents. And you know what? Occasionally love on a stranger. Be nice to somebody. It don't hurt. Wasn't even his blood, her own blood. Didn't leave them shit. And these kids had good jobs. I think. I don't know, but they were living in Lincoln Park and around her. So unless she bought their places for them, you know, she didn't leave them no money. That woman left her stocks, her bonds, all sorts of shit. Oh, excuse me. Homie never, ever, ever have to work. Ever. When all this happened, he was in his 40s. I was in my late 20s. He in his fucking 60s now. Retired his wife, took his kids. Well, he had the house built first. Then he had paid off his house in Roseland, and he left his house in Roseland. He gave it to his brother. Free house with a deed. Fixed everything up for his brother, and his brother lived there. His brother and his mama. But his mama at the time, she was going back and forth from Mississippi. She might be down there permanently now. I promised my mama I never put her in a nursing home. I tease her and say I put her in the basement with saltine crackers. Then she gives me a karate chop and laughs. And that's beautiful. Because she's supposed to karate chop you. Connections keep correction, keep under 80, 85. I went home, things didn't change. Hadn't hasn't changed as a dad that was a drunk, so I left again. I went to Detroit and found out there was a job corps there, got in and was hired before I graduated, but I did not walk. That's fine. Before you graduated, you had a job. That's that's walking, baby. That's walking. You know, it's some people who are just so selfish, that they just put their parents in places. You know, if my mama needed me to take care of her, I'd take care of my mama till she took her last motherfucking breath. you know. And my parents ain't perfect, you know, but this lady leaving my homeboy all her shit was spectacular. And he was so motherfucking cool. The people that would drink with us when we would all go, it was only like 5 of us. You know, he gave every last one of us $5,000 in cash. I hadn't had that much money since me and Craig had broke up. I hadn't even touched that much money. That really helped me. It helped me immensely. The people I met in Detroit and Cleveland, worked in the lounge in Cleveland where the Ohio players played almost every weekend. Somebody dropped something, so on once, ooh, the Ohio players. Man, I can't see the rest of your comment. But people can be shitty, you know. Okay, where played almost every weekend, and my roommate dated one of the members of the Gap Band. You know what? Charlie Wilson. Charlie Wilson had an older child. Her name is Kenyatta. Kenyatta was my step grandmother's. Well, Kenyatta's mama's name was Rhonda. And my step grandmother, who raised me the first 4 years of my life, and I just call her grandma, her son, Floyd, was Rhonda's father. And Rhonda dated Charlie Wilson, and their oldest child's name is Kenyatta. And she looked just like Charlie. And I haven't seen her in years because um, my grandparents used to take me to Oklahoma. We would go to Claremore, Oklahoma to go see my grandmother's son, Floyd Jean. And we would stay down there and me and Kenyatta would play together. And I remember my grandmother said, you know that Charlie Wilson is her dad, Gap Man. I was like, what? Her name is Kenyatta. I don't know where she is. I'm gonna have to Google and try to find her. I haven't seen her in years. I haven't seen Kenyatta since my grandmother's funeral. And that was in 1993. Yeah, but Charlie Wilson is her father. And I think Kenyatta is his oldest child. Because Rhonda was bad. Rhonda was bad. And she danced. Not like stripping dance. She danced. But Rhonda grew up in Claremore, Oklahoma. But Charlie and them were from I think they were from Tulsa, Oklahoma. They weren't from Claremore. But yeah, I was just like, damn. But she looks like him. She had real light eyes. I wish I could find her because we had so much fun when I would go down there. That's how I learned how to ride a scooter. You know, I had fun down in Oklahoma, and it was in the country too. Claremore wasn't big at all. Pixie, can you drop something under Giles, please? Charlie was fine and still is fine. Yeah, he took care of himself. Shit. Anybody that's a singer and still made it through the motherfucking 70s and 80s and they still here, God bless them. Because those were wild times. I should have been but I'm back. Okay. All right. Welcome back. I was watching the Gap Band videos earlier today. Jamming on the one, baby. But it's crazy. Like just finding out shit like Kenyatta wasn't a blood relative of mine. But her grandmama raised me for the first 4 years of my life. Shit, I found out Jerry Rice was my cousin. Cause his mama was from my grandmama's side of the family and she married a Rice. They from down in Mississippi. I want to do another DNA test to see if I who else I'm related to. You know, I really like to know. Now I'm not gonna say nothing. I'm not gonna say who this person is with Princess, but Princess is related to a very extremely prominent African American writer. And when we talked about this one day, I was like, yo, that's probably and it is, you know, uh, just remarkable stories, some people have. You gotta move it up, Pixie. Mark, all I see is Mark Clayton and Dolphins. I don't know who that I know who Mark Clayton is, but I can't see the rest. But I'm going with it's probably your cousin that plays for the Miami Dolphins. Yep. Okay. You'll be surprised that like you do those DNA testing, the shit you find out. But I've always wanted to be related to Barbara Streisand in some way, shape, or form. Because when we did DNA, and I have a lot on my side, a lot of Eastern European, and along with all the African blood and stuff like that. But Eastern Europeans, like a lot, Jewish people, shit like that. So I would just pass out if I found out. But yeah, and it's crazy because my big cousin Brian, he used to work for this a major beverage company in the United States. He was their vice president of urban marketing, and he had lived in San Francisco at one time. And they had him based out of San Francisco, and he knew Jerry Rice, and they would go hang out and eat dinner and all this other shit. So one day, um, I called my cousin to ask him could he give me some tickets to Usher had a concert here. And I wish I would have known you then, Princess. So please don't kill me. I wish I would have known Princess then. Because Usher did a concert here in Chicago at the House of Blues. It was a small, intimate concert, right? And I called my cousin and I was like, hey, what are you doing? And he was like, I'm out at dinner right now. And I'm nosy. I was like, who you out to dinner? Who you out to dinner with? He said, Jerry Rice. I said, are you serious? I said, he's our cousin. He was like, what? And I explained to him how. And he asked him, he was like, you know such and such? He's like, yeah, yeah, yeah. How you know them? That's my family. They found out they was cousins. Just like that. Now I'm getting cold. And Jerry Rice was cold with that football, baby. Hall of Famer. All right. So when I found out, I was just like, what? That's crazy. Now I don't know if y'all follow this on YouTube, but go up in your search bar and look for Finding Your Roots. And got my certification. I know that. Oh, okay. So you did walk. Okay. My great aunt, baby said, Prince, you told me that. I didn't believe her until she showed me his first album and all was Purple Rain, autographed for her. I was like, blew your mind. Hope you heard yourself snoring. Okay, sis, good night. I love you. Hopefully we can talk tomorrow, but I know how busy you are. So just hit me because I'll be in the house. I ain't going no one fucking where. But yeah, you just be surprised at who be related to who. And just the fact that your aunt babysat Prince. Now I got a story, but it ain't about Prince. It's about um what's his name? Morris Day. But I don't want to put nobody's business out here like that. But I'm gonna just leave it at this. I have a friend whose father was a doctor, and I ain't gonna say nothing. I don't even want to go there. I don't even want to go there. But a, a friend of mine found out that Morris Day was very closely related to him. Hmm. And guess how he found out? After the daddy died, he called me up one day and he said, "Yo," because he had older sisters from his father's first marriage, right? And he told me, he was like, "How come my older sister told me such and such and such and such?" And I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" He was like, "No." I was like, "Mm-hmm." She said he jumped off the top of the refrigerator all the time because he was stealing cookies. He's jumping, and that's why that motherfucker was a dancing machine. I love Prince. I love Prince. I was just, you know, when I was younger, my uncle had the Prince album, and I was just reading some of the titles. And this particular album cover, I think he had on like a black G string thong type thing, and the cover was like black and white. And Prince had a lot going on in the front of that thong. But like I said, I've always loved Prince, but Prince was never like, Prince wasn't the type of dude I would have like let hit. You know, I loved him. I would, if I met Prince, I could have treated him like my brother. He was my big brother Prince. But he was too short. He was too short, and then he wore heels. Platforms back in the '70s was one thing. Just a dude wearing straight heels, and I feel like my feet were probably bigger than his. I knew the Ohio players got banned. They were good looking men back in the days, late '70s. Yeah, yeah, hell yeah. You know, but some of them still, look, decent. And that's crazy because I think like Smokey Robinson actually got better looking as he got older. Cause young Smokey, no, young Smokey was cute. Then Smokey went through that transition phase, like in his late 40s, you know, late 30s. And Smokey had that big ass mustache like Lionel Richie. That's like Lionel Richie look better now. Lionel Richie look better now. That I don't know what happened. Sometimes people just turn as they get older. They get better looking as they get older, especially with men, black men and white men. Some clicks. But I want Smokey to stop dancing. You could just do a little something at his concerts. But he was he be at those concerts. I be seeing little videos of Smokey. He just be grinding and shit. Smokey, if you don't just sing a song and walk on the stage and talk. Roxy, tell us about when you ran into Michael Jackson. Was Mike short? No, he was not short. But I'm only 5'2", so Everybody's taller than me. So Pixie wants to hear the story again. So me and Craig had went to an MTV movie awards, not music, a movie awards. And it was at Radio City Music Hall. And by the time we got there, the show hadn't been on like a long time. But when they're doing live performances, when the people are on stage and you come in, you have to stand in the back of the theater. You're on the inside of the double doors, but you're standing in the back. And when we got there, Michael Jackson was just getting ready to finish performing, right? And he just finished. He was like literally just finishing up, and we just standing back there waiting for them to tell everyone we can, all the people stand back there waiting for them to tell us we can go to our seats. Because, like I said, when it's live, you can't walk down the aisle to go to your seat. So we just standing back there, and Michael Jackson performed. Everyone clapping, standing up, and then somebody came up to present an award. Who it was, I don't remember. And they were up there, telling some stale ass jokes, getting ready to present whatever award they were getting ready to present. And me and Craig were just standing there, and the doors open, right where we were standing. And who came in? Michael Jackson. And he had 2 or 3 big ass security guards with him. And there were more people standing back there because they were waiting to go to their seats too. And you were hearing, oh my God, it's Michael Jackson, it's Michael Jackson. And I was standing literally this far from him. And I remember I grabbed Craig's hand and I was squeezing it. And he leaned over and said, don't say nothing. Don't say nothing. And I was saying, and I was just like, I'm standing here facing this way. He's literally, no security guard standing right next to me. And I was squeezing Craig's hand so hard. And I was just like, literally just standing there like this. Because I couldn't believe it. He was tall and he was slender. He had on some dark glasses. He had on some black pants. What else did he have? He had on like one of those military jackets, not not like the ones with the zippers on it. It was like one of those military jackets. And then when they went to roll a commercial, that's when the ushers were like, people could go to their seat, but they let Mike walk first. Hi, Monique. My grandson's my grandson's father's last name is Rice. Ooh, you might be, if they from Mississippi. I heard all those Rices down there related. hmm And they walked Mike to his seat, which was all the way in the front row. And I could not believe that I was right there. Do y'all know I wanted to touch him. I wanted to cry. I've never um been around anyone that invoked me almost wanting to cry. Like I couldn't believe it. I could when we got home after going, because we went to only one after party. We went to the after party at the Motown Cafe. And that after party was Boys to Men. That was their after party. And that was a hoot because Martha Stewart was there and she came in with Dr. J. hold on, my right hand guy. She came in with Dr. J. And me and Craig were like sitting there. I was like, yo, it's Martha Stewart. And she walked in with Dr. J. I bullshit you not, put on every fucking thing I love. You know, but just standing that close to Michael Jackson was like some surreal shit. Didn't say nothing. Craig was like, I at least wanted to say hi. But then, you know, he had those big ass bodyguards. Craig was already 6'4". These motherfuckers was bigger than Craig. So we ain't gonna run the risk of getting beat up by Michael Jackson security guards. But I held it down cool because I just couldn't believe what I just of all the people to stand next to, it was him. Cause you know, I thought like if he got off stage, you know, they would bring him out from like some like down some side steps. No, they didn't. I was like, shut the fuck up. I called my mom and my daddy the next day because it was late. My mother was like, what did you say to him? I said, nothing. She said, why? I said, shit, Craig told me don't say shit. And I didn't say nothing. And I just stood there. And you know, it's not polite to stare at people. You be telling your kids that. But I was just like, and I'm talking to myself in my head like, yo, stop fucking playing B. This Michael Jackson. Didn't say one word to him. Not one word. He didn't even look down and see my short ass probably even standing there. But it was crazy. It was absolutely crazy. I couldn't even believe it. I just couldn't fucking believe it. That was like a highlight. That's like one of those highlight things in my life. I was just like, damn. Didn't meet him. Didn't talk to him. But he was so close that I could have held Michael Jackson's hand. That's how close he was. It was just crazy. It was crazy. It was just like, whoa. It was crazy. But you know, but the cool thing about going to the Motown Cafe was, and it was Boys to Men's, it was their after party. And I had always loved Boys to Men. I was just like, oh my God, I love Boys to Men. I loved Wanye so much. I was like, oh, I couldn't believe that I, I was there. I couldn't like Puff was there, Big was there. I wasn't like, I know who you motherfuckers are, but this was Boys to Men. You know, I'll make love to you, Boys to Men. I couldn't believe it. I was just like, shut the fuck up. This is fucking, this is fucking crazy. And then fast forward, Boys to Men asked Craig to do a song with them. And so we went to, Craig went, he took me and one of my girlfriends, she had flown in. She was staying a few days in New York, and we went to the Hit Factory because Craig had to go lay his vocals. And it's for a song called Vibin'. And we were in the Hit Factory, and it was really crazy because that's the first time I met Method Man. The first time I met Old Dirty Bastard and a few other people from Wu-Tang. It wasn't the whole Wu-Tang. And Old Dirty Bastard came in and with Meth, and you know, everyone was laying their verses. ODB was wild as hell. He licked my friend's face. He licked the side of her face. It was really crazy. She's just like, I can't believe this nigga did that. Where's the bathroom? I was like, I don't know. This is my first time here. But everybody laid their vocals and left. And when it was time for them to shoot the video, he told me I could come with him. And I think we went to Brooklyn. We were like at an abandoned warehouse or something, and they set up like a boxing ring. It was really fun. It was really fun. It was, you know, people be seeing videos and video shoots and shit like that. That shit take all day. But it was fun. It was fun as fuck. It really was. I was just like, wow, this is crazy. And it was just a fun day because then I got to like formally meet everyone and Boys to Me. I was like, hi. I was just playing it off. But on my insides, I was screaming on the inside because I couldn't believe it. I love Boys to Men. The fuck. I've had some highlights. No, Craig had to calm me down. Mike didn't say anything to me. Craig was like, be easy. Because I wanted to scream. Like the people be screaming at the concerts and be like the Michael Jackson concerts and be passing out and crying. That's what emotion he invoked. But I couldn't do it because Craig was like, don't even say anything to him. I wanted to like smell his jacket or something, just just sniff him. But he was just that close to me. It was fucking crazy. Crazy. I couldn't believe it. But I met a lot of people, but I never fangirled out, because that's in poor taste. You know what I mean? But like I told y'all a few weeks ago, if I had ever met Aretha Franklin, I would have, I fuck it at this point, I would have fangirled out. If I ever meet Barbara Streisand, I would fangirl out. Um, who else? It's a few others. I might lose it. I might just lose my shit. Like I know I would cry if I had ever met Aretha Franklin. And I know I would cry if I ever met Barbara Streisand. And I think I might cry meeting Patti LaBelle too. And then I would ask her, could she cook for me? Because her macaroni be looking fine. But yeah, I wouldn't fangirl out for anyone. But those is like my favorites. Aretha Franklin is my favorite singer. Barbara Streisand is my favorite singer. So it would definitely, but Mike is just a different paradigm. You know what I mean? You know, so, but I understand how people will want, like, I felt like my spirit left my body. And I was just like standing next to him, looking at me standing next to him. I couldn't believe it. I died standing up. Craig wouldn't have been able to calm me down. I, I almost felt like I really wanted to pass out. His presence will make you pass out. But what if I did pass out, y'all? And I woke up and Mike was fanning me with his glove. And he was like, are you okay? I would have refainted. I'd been like, oh, just like that. I've been like, yeah. And now I would be like, no, I'm not okay. And I would have just passed out again. Could you imagine Michael Jackson fanning you with his glove? Mm, mm, mm. And he did have on penny loafers, right? Saying it softly. Are you okay? I probably would have been crying. And I probably would have had like clear snot coming out my nose and everything. And my face was beat that night for the gods, boy. My makeup would have been messed up. Hmm. But I held it together, y'all. But I be thinking sometimes if I could go back in time, I would have at least been like, what up, Mike? At least that. Cause I know he could just see. I was standing too close to him. I was as close as I am right now. I know he seen me just staring at him with my mouth wide open. It wasn't like it was. It was probably open wider than that, like real, like all the blood rushed from my face because I couldn't even believe that shit. That shit was crazy. That's Michael Jackson. I remember watching Jackson 5 as a child. That's the Scarecrow in the Wiz. That's Thriller. That's You Will Always Be the Lady in My Life. That's PYT. That's Billie Jean. Beat It. They don't really care about us. Off the wall. Are you fucking kidding me? So I can't say I had the privilege of meeting him, but I stood next to him. And guess what? That was good enough for me. Because guess what? It's not a lot of just civilians, and I'm a civilian, who have just stood next to Michael Jackson. I don't know anybody. No one's ever just said, yeah, I was standing next to Michael Jackson. What? You know, I'd be like, me too. You know, mm-mm, I'm serious. I was like, this is crazy. This is crazy. You know, but I mean, shit happens. Even the Michael Jackson, yeah, the Jackson 5 cartoon. Hell yeah, I remember watching that. I remember watching that. So just to be able to stand next to him, I was able to breathe the same air for, and it seemed like an eternity, but it was only like 1 minute, if that. From the time the person presented the award and the person came up on the stage and said they thank yous, it was roughly about 1 minute that he was standing there. And I just couldn't believe it. I was just like, this is insanity. And it was really funny because when we got to our seats and we were sitting down, he was like, can you believe we were standing right there? I was like, that's crazy. He called his parents when he got home. He woke his parents up and was just like, I stood next to Michael Jackson. I was like, I'm calling my parents in the morning. My parents ain't cussing me out. Man, it was just crazy. I couldn't believe it. But like I said, if times would change and you know, and I had another opportunity to stand next to him, what's up, Mike? I would do it cool though, you know. But on the inside, I'd be screaming loud, real, real loud. But that was a highlight, you know. I danced with Michael Jordan, but that's Michael Jackson. Shit, Michael motherfucking Jordan. I have played cards with Michael Jordan, and I'm not even gonna go into all those old Chicago Bulls stories. No. But Mike is, you know, a lot of people are like Mike is like was a jerk. Mike was cool as fuck. Mike was cool as fuck. Period. That's all I'm gonna say. Real nice person. You know, playing cards. Hell of a poker player. I ain't. You know, I know how to play poker, but I'm not proficient with it. But I be in some spots where these motherfuckers be playing poker, and I'm not talking about like at the casino. These motherfuckers playing poker at someone's house, high stakes poker. Motherfuckers doing these wild ass bets. Yeah, but that's that's some stories for another day. But yeah, he was nice. He was nice. You know, I met Juanita on several occasions. Back when the Bulls were winning all those championships, Chicago was party central, baby. Oh man, it was always something to do during season, off season, because shit, it was just always a lot to do. Pixie said, I guess she was gonna say in his prime, I can't see anything else, you know. But Mike was cool people. But I can't even, as far as like people I met, I can't even, I can't even count. I can't even count. It's I've met so many people that either in sports or in entertainment, I just can't count Another highlight, I did meet Holly Berry. I met her at the Essence Awards. She was hosting with Sinbad, and Craig was there because he performed with TLC because he had did a song with TLC. And I met Holly Berry. I was pregnant with my daughter, Amanda, and she was very nice. I met her at the well, not, it wasn't a dress rehearsal, it was just a rehearsal. I met Sinbad. I met Tom Joyner, and Tom Joyner had been a DJ in Chicago for years, but I had never met him. I had only heard him on the radio. He was there, but I met Holly, and she seen that I was pregnant, and she asked me because she touched my stomach, which was very polite because some people just would touch your stomach. She did, and she asked me how many months I was, and she was very, very, very pretty. She didn't have on a stitch of makeup. She might have like some clear lip gloss. Beautiful, beautiful. I'm standing there talking to her. Craig walks up. He was ready to fangirl out. He's the, oh my God. Well, hello, Miss Berry. He was just, he literally moved me out of the way. She was like, I seen you on stage. You guys did a really great job. He was like, and this before camera phones and shit like that. Cause he would have handed me his phone, been like, take a picture. I've been like, I took the picture. But she was just pretty. She was very, very, very pretty. And she gave me a really nice hug. She's like, well, good luck. I was like, thank you so much. It was, yes, it was so fun back then. Oh my God. So fun. These kids don't have anything to do. They don't. They don't. You know, but maybe because I done did so much shit, don't nothing really interest me anymore. You know, I like doing my little grocery shopping and all that shit, traveling here and there now and then. But I like just sitting my ass still because I have globe trotted. And I just, a lot of nothing really. Certain things impress me. Acts of kindness impress me. Um, I like seeing good things happen for people. Even if I don't know 'em, because I ain't never been no hating ass motherfucker, and I ain't never been jealous. I ain't never been a jealous bitch. I'm cool with where I am. I'm cool at this, the station in life that I'm at. It's going to get better, but I'm happy. I'm gonna share something else with you all. So a few days ago, I get a inbox from Facebook, but it's not within my friends. Someone sent me a request, and I opened it, and it was a lady from the New York magazine, New Yorker or something. And she said, yes, I would like to interview you for the upcoming Diddy trial. Woo. And I'm like, whoa. So I didn't call her the day I seen the message because this was like earlier this week, maybe Monday, and I was hurting. So she called me. I called her. So this Friday, yesterday was Thursday. She called me Wednesday, and I was in the throes of back pain. And she called me a little bit too early, and I told her I would hit her back. I really was, I couldn't talk right now. I was a little busy. I was busy being in pain. So I talked to her this evening. I called her, and I called her earlier today. Told her she can call me back. She called me this evening, but I was on the phone with Val. Okay. And I told Val, hold on for a minute. I clicked over and I said, hey, can I call you back in a few minutes? I know we're playing phone tag. She laughed and said, okay. So after I talked to Val, I got off the phone and I called her back. No, she called. No, I called her back because I told her I'd call her back. And she introduced herself, and I was just like, how did you find me?" And she said, "Oh, I found you because of another article that you interviewed in, woo woo." And I was like, okay, that got that question out the way. Then I was just like, well, what is it that you want to know? And she was just like, I want to know about the freak offs and da da da. I was like, well, you might be disappointed. I never went to a freak off, never been to one. I said, and I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. Also, I'm just finding out about this shit when everyone else found out about it. I was like, and let's just add a little bit more on this. If Craig had been participating in anything, we were married. I wasn't his girlfriend. I wasn't his baby's mama. I wasn't his side piece. I wasn't his jump off. I was his wife. I was like, so you think if he was participating in anything, he would came home and told me? I said, what husband does that? She laughed and she said, you're right. I said, the one thing I'm not going to do is tell you some shit that I didn't see with my own two eyes. And she was like, you know what? I really appreciate that. I said, not a problem. I said, but if you want to know something else about Craig, somebody that I know, you can ask me questions about that. But your story is basically centered around Puff and freak offs. But I've never been to a freak off. And she just said, I appreciate you, you know, telling me the truth. And I said, no problem. I'm not gonna lie on my pussy. I'm not gonna lie on my eyes. If I seen something, I seen something. But if I didn't, I did. Period. But yeah, they called y'all girl. They wanted to interview me. I'm just like, mm. What did you say? They were gentlemen, no diddy cap at all. Yeah, I mean, because and they probably weren't doing asking to get their butts licked either. You know what I mean? It's just it was a different time, you know. But no, I kept it real with her, y'all. I wasn't gonna tell this woman nothing that I didn't see. I said I've been to several parties, but I didn't see no naked people doing nothing too crazy. But I didn't see no people fucking in front of me and no shit like that. I didn't walk in no rooms and see no crazy shit happening. So I wouldn't be able to help you, you know. She was like, thank you so much. I was like, you're welcome. You're welcome. But hell, that mean people said it was happening. Then it was. Shit. As long as my black ass wasn't there, I don't give a fuck. They'll figure that shit out in court. You know, that shit start next month. We already at the end of this motherfucking month. You know, I I I supposed to go to New York on June. I need to be there June 11th, and I literally can be there one day. I need to fly in June 10th, June because I'm going. I need to go to this. Well, I was invited to go to the Tribeca Film Festival. The first night is like this really big party that I was requested to be at with a business partner. So I need to fly there on the 10th and I need to go to the party on the 11th. And then I need to try to get on the earliest flight on the 12th. Okay. Get back to Chicago. Then I have to drive 6 hours, me and my children, to go to number 5, my son Jack. I need to go to his military graduation. That's, well, family day. Yeah, family day is on the 12th. That's a 6-hour drive. So get down to Missouri, go to family day, and then chill. And then the next day is his graduation. And then go to the graduation, and then maybe go out for dinner with everyone, and then make that 6-hour drive back to Chicago. So I'm just trying to figure some things out, timing wise. Um, I wouldn't mind going, motherfucker already got all my shit for the Tribeca Film Festival. So I'm kind of excited, and I was happy that I was invited. My daddy hung with the OJs backstage. Then he saw them doing some coke, so dad left and was disappointed because he didn't know they did cane. Shit, everybody did cocaine in the 70s and 80s. It was the thing. You know, I ain't even gonna lie to y'all. All the fucking parties and shit I went to, I just seen motherfuckers really smoking weed. I didn't see any athletes doing any drugs, but like the music people. But I never even seen any. I never even seen no celebrities doing like no cocaine. I swear I haven't. Now I would see some chicks in the bathroom doing cocaine, and I'm like, ugh. And they cutting that shit up on a dirty sink in the bathroom. Shit was weird. But I mean, hey, to each his own. But the 70s, everybody was doing that powder. But shit, now these motherfuckers sniffing pink cocaine and all sorts of shit. I, I'm, I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I just wouldn't trust pink cocaine. Cocaine's supposed to be white. And I don't give a fuck if they did put food coloring in it. It's supposed to be white. But motherfuckers always trying to reinvent the fucking wheel. Mm. But yeah, y'all, wish me luck figuring out this whole Tribeca Film Festival thing. Because I have to be there. It's a must. So try to get to that, then get back, and then sometime in June, go down to Maddie's apartment, clean her apartment out, because her lease isn't up to the end of July, but school over in May. But she ain't got to stay down with that motherfucker. My baby girl can come home and do that. Be trying to move. It's just a lot going on. Oh, wow. Mm. But I think I found a place, you guys. And this place is temporary until the other thing happens. But I think I found a place. I'm pretty happy with it. Oh, I gotta go to the bathroom, y'all. Speak talk amongst yourselves. Oh, I gotta get up out this chair. Lord, Lord. Oh, oh shit. Oh shit. Oh. Okay, I'm back, y'all. Oh, oh, ooh, mm. Damn, fucking back. It ain't hurt like it was yesterday. I done got hungry. You gonna eat one of your crab cakes? That shit sound good. I, I ain't gonna even lie to y'all. Y'all know what I ate for dinner? I ate 3 pieces of whole head cheese and some of those chicken and biscuit crackers and had water. That was dinner. But it was the hot hog head cheese, so I got a little heartburn. So, we all went to here we there. My best not fan out. He just wanted to be okay. Didn't ask. He didn't ask for an autograph or nothing. But that's cool. That's cool. I met Heavy D too. But I forgot where I was. I just know I met him. But this one he was like Heavy D. He hadn't lost weight. He was polite. I done met a lot of fucking people. It's like really fucking crazy. Like, damn. And some, a lot of black celebrities and athletes, they age well. You know what I mean? But I promise you, late 80s, Chicago was just like it was just so fun. That's really all I could say. It was just spectacular. It was deep too when he got to other members. Wow. You haven't had hog head cheese in years? Shit. And you know what they got here? And I don't know if they got it where you live, baby. They got chicken head cheese. It looks like hog head cheese, but it's made with chicken. I bought some of that too. And I brought some liver cheese. I ate that too. I just haven't, and I took my Ozempic shot last night, well, on Wednesday. So I don't have that much of an appetite. You met Heavy D at a traumatic time. So it really didn't count. Yeah. But you still met him, even though it was traumatic. Even though it was traumatic. I remember when Heavy D came out with "We Got Our Own Thing." That was my song. I really liked that song. That was my shit. But you know who I wish I could have met? Just to meet him and hang out with him, which probably would have been a fucking crazy ass time. I wish I would have met Rick James. Like seriously. They have a documentary. Y'all gotta Google it. It's about Rick James and his life and his daughters in it. It's really, really interesting. I don't know which one it's on. I don't know if it's on HBO, Showtime, or what. But one of the things that struck me in the documentary, it's not a like multi-series, it's just one. Rick was invited to go out one night, him and his lady. This is his daughter's mother, right? I think his daughter's name is Ty or Toy or something like that. And the mama was telling the story. They were invited to go over to Sharon Tate's house to hang out because Rick knew Jay Seabrook, the guy who did her hair. And the wife, I don't know if he married to her or not, but she was like, let's go, let's go. And Rick was like, nah, I don't feel like it. I just don't feel like it. I don't feel like going. And she said that they didn't go. They stayed in that night. And the next day, when they got up, it was all over the news that Sharon Tate, Jay Sebring, and whoever was in that house with them had got killed. That was the same night Rick James was supposed to go over there, and he said he didn't feel like going, and he stayed in the crib. Ain't that some shit? The woman who was with him at the time, she said she was like, she really wanted to go. And he was just like, I don't feel like, I don't remember if he said he had a headache or he just didn't feel like going. And he didn't go. He said he didn't feel like it. Look how God spared his life and spared the mother of his two children's lives. Look how he spared it. And Rick was a party animal, they said. And he just said, no, I don't feel like going. He said he was tired of some shit, but he said he didn't feel like going. And then you get up in the morning, you cut on your TV and shit, and that's all they talking about is Sharon Tate and all her people being murdered, and you were supposed to be there. You know, but I think Rick would have fought. I ain't even gonna lie. I met him once. He was high as fuck. I'm sure he was. Shit, that was Rick. Don't meet your idols. We are all jackasses. Yeah, but that story, and then, like I said, y'all look it up. Just Google Rick James documentary with his daughter in it, and it will tell you what channel it comes on. You all might be able to pull it up like on demand or something like that. But and they were killed by the Mansons. He would have been there, and that shit's wild as fuck. That a notorious party person decides that I don't feel like going. Oops, I'm gonna stay at home. And he stayed his ass in the house and staying in the house. Damn, did my scarf slide? Did y'all? Shit. And staying at home saved his life, you know. Boy, you met George Clinton. Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Rick probably wasn't gonna go. They would have had to pop Rick first because Rick was from Buffalo, New York. He grew up in the motherfucking projects. Rick was probably on go. Rick would have been like, man, if y'all don't get the fuck up out my face, that black man would have fought. Mm-hmm. It probably would have gave motherfuckers time to run and shit like that. But it wasn't his time. Okay? It wasn't his time. You know, sometimes, just sometimes, you gotta listen to the universe. You gotta listen to when you really I ain't took this rubber band out of my head in so long. When you really not supposed to go somewhere, I promise you. Damn, I got a bobby pin up in my head too. Damn. I had it wrapped so I could hold the hair off my neck. Um, you just gotta listen. Let me tell y'all another story. A few months back, and I told Val because it really kind of tweaked me out, right? My son had a doctor's appointment. Aston had a doctor's appointment. And after his doctor's appointment, I was going to drop him off at work, right? This is before they stole my husband's police car. So me and Aston leave to go to his doctor's appointment. We get ready to leave. And we get in the truck, right? And I whip a U-turn in the middle of my street, but the car felt sluggish. And I said, do I have a flat tire? So I pulled over. I said, Aston, check the tires. He said, the tire's flat. I said, fuck. So I whipped the U-turn again and parked it back in the spot. So I gave Aston the house key and I took the alarm off and I said, go upstairs and get the key fob for the car. He comes upstairs, he gets the key fob for the car. The car opens, okay? I get in the car, press the button. The car don't start. The car don't start. And I was like, fuck, what's going on? So I call my husband and I'm like, yo, the truck got a flat and the car won't start. And he was like, okay. I was like, Aston's gonna miss his doctor's appointment. I was like, but I'm gonna call them. And I called. No, that's a lie. I didn't call. Or did I? I called the next day because my son, they sent him a bill in his My Chart, $50 cancellation fee. So my husband came home that day. Instead of Aston going to his doctor's appointment, he dropped him off at work because the plan was I was going to take Aston to his doctor's appointment and I was going to wait. And then I was going to drop him off at work and shoot home. So the next day he was off and he shows me his My Chart and they were trying to charge him $50. Now he on his father's insurance and Jay was going to pay it anyway. But I felt like, no. I called and I was like, let me speak to my doctor's head nurse or whatever. And I was like, yo, I got a $50 cancellation fee. I was like, but I need to explain something to you. And she was like, okay, what's going on? And I told her, hold on, y'all, I gotta fix this. Oh, shit. So I'm telling the nurse lady, I'm like, look, real shit. I know that y'all have a $50 cancellation fee, no call, no show. You wasted the doctor's time. I said, but can I explain something to you? She was like, yeah. And I explained to her, we got two perfectly working cars. Now, I said, the truck needed a tire. I said, we came outside and the tire was flat. So we go hop in our other car. The car won't start. Come to find out the car needed a whole new battery. I said, but I need you to talk to doctor. And I don't want to give y'all my primary care doctor's name because it's not y'all business. I said, I need you to explain this to her. Whatever was going to be going on that road, how I take my son to the doctor, God didn't want me to go. And he didn't want my son to go. I said, what are the odds? The car is new. The truck is older. That's why we let Aston drive it to work and everything else. But it runs like it runs good. My husband ain't one of those motherfuckers who don't get oil changes, tire rotations, fluid changes, all that shit. That car can last another 15 years. I ain't lying. I said, what are the chances of both our fucking vehicles being down? I said, I feel like that was God. He didn't want me to come down to bring him to the doctor for whatever reason. I said, I'm gonna need you to talk to her and tell her I need that $50 fee waive. And she said, well, I'm gonna talk to her and I'm gonna call you back. She didn't call me back. The doctor called me back. She said, are you serious, Roxanne? I was like, Dr. M. I said, you know, I don't even play like that. I said, what are the chances of both two working cars, one having a flat and one needing a back? I was like, I wasn't supposed to travel that road with my baby. He wasn't supposed to come to the doctor that day. And I'm going to need you to waive that $50 fee. I said, because that was something divine. And God closed every door. And he did that. So I remember telling Val, probably that same day, later on in the day, because I pretty much know her schedule. And when I called her, I was like, yo. And she said, ooh, you weren't supposed to go. And she said the same thing I said. What are the chances of two working vehicles being that? She said God moved things how he wants them to move. Don't question it. I was like, and I don't have to pay the $50, girl. She was like, okay. So that goes back to the whole Rick James supposed to have went and hung out with them. And he just didn't want to go. Because it could have been a possibility that if he went, we wouldn't have never had Fire and Desire. We would have never had Mary Jane. We would have never had any of the magic that Rick James put out. You just gotta listen to the universe. You really do. When something stops you more than once of you going somewhere, or someone says, don't go. Just chill with me. Listen. Don't be like, no, I'm gonna go. Cause see, this shit done happened to me twice. And probably even a few more times. But I didn't read the signs back then because I was younger. At once some years back, and it's been some years, probably maybe close to 20 some years. I went to this bar called the 50-Yard Line. It was here in Chicago. I knew the owner's son, the head manager. His name was Mark. And it really wasn't a crowded night at the 50. And I remember it was cold. And there were these girls that were always in the 50. And they were going to leave. And they were like, Roxanne, come with us. We going down to E2's. And I was like, that's kind of dead in here. And Mark was like, Mark was from New York. And he walked over to me and he said, don't go with them. He said, just stay here. He was like, I'll buy you a bottle of Moet. Just stay here. Don't go with them. He said, because they always get into it with people. Because they were fighters. But they never fought in the 50. They would fight outside that motherfucker. He's like, don't go with them. He was like, and I'll drop you off at home. I said, all right. I didn't go with them. I said, nah, y'all, I'm gonna just chill. They left. And by time the 50 closed, I I had made it back to my crib, and this was in Chicago. I made it back to my crib and I cut on the TV, and I was watching like the 4 or 5 o'clock news, and they were talking about how all these people died at E2's because somebody got into it and somebody sprayed pepper spray, and somebody, because they were in the upstairs, and they had this long ass steep ass staircase that led to the street, and somebody said somebody yelled something about a gun, and everyone started taking off running down this down these steps, and people got crushed and suffocated. And I would have went with those girls. And surprisingly, that one of the girls who was went down there who invited me to go was one of the women who lost her life. So sometimes, just sometimes, you know, God moves things and he moves people. It's happened to you plenty of times. Hell yeah. You just gotta listen. You just gotta listen. And I do, and sometimes I listen to someone else and it saved me, you know. So now when I feel something or something, things keep coming up and I can't get out the house, I just sit the fuck still. I really do. Just that whole thing with the car taking my son to the doctor that day, I just was not supposed to go. And he wasn't either. And I don't question the Lord. I don't question him sparing me or my son. All I can say is thank you. And that's for real, you know. So when I heard Rick James's ex say that they were supposed to be there that night, and he said he didn't want to go. Because she his woman, she gonna follow his lead. Even though she wanted to go, he said, "No, I don't feel like going." And she wasn't gonna go someone's crib without her man. She set her ass still. Rick not wanting to go anywhere saved him and her. I listen. My spidey senses be real keen. I be like, mm-mm, I don't feel like doing this. I don't feel like doing that. People be like, oh man, you should come. And then I find out, I keep late hours. I'm menopausal. It's hard for me to sleep. So, I catch news, late news, be up and I see something on Facebook about something that happened in Chicago. And I be like, damn, it happened at what time? That would have been roughly the time I would have been coming home. I know what hours I keep. So I just, you know, I had to ask this lady. I've known her a very long time. She's older than me. She's old enough to be my mama. And she's just like, she was like, don't make me read a leaf, you know. And she just told me, she's like, these things have happened to you more than once. She said, just always take heed. And 65 said, happened to her plenty of times. I don't know what it be. I just listen, my back. I listen, but yeah, that was just really, really crazy. But I do want you guys to look up the Rick James documentary. and you all can find the name of it and watch it. It talks about his life and where he grew up and his, his musical career and everything. And it's very interesting to watch. But that was something that really piqued my interest. Um, it's just should just be strange. And when things like that happen, I feel like I have things to do. My child has things to do. And all I can say is thank you, God. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Because it really don't take much for me to stay in the house. Y'all know I go run my errands and shit and go do some of the things that I have to do. But one thing's for sure and two things for certain. I pray before I leave my house. I pray when my children leave my house. And the first time I feel like I don't want to go, I just don't go. I have not gone to a lot of things because the spirit don't move. So, people be like, oh, that's weird. It's not weird. You're weird for saying it's weird. But these are people to me who don't have a lot of discernment and they don't follow. But hey, you just have to stay positive. But yeah, it's Friday officially. Just so you all know, Raising Canaan does not come on tonight. It's on a bye week. So if you were looking for that to watch this evening, it's not going to be on. You have to wait till next week. What else is going on? What else is going on? I've been watching this show, The Last of Us. I told you all that. And last Sunday, something happened that made me really mad. A character got off, and I'm not very pleased about that. So I'm questioning if I'm going to continue to watch it. My daughter, Maddie, said, continue to watch it, mommy. And my husband was like, no, continue to watch it. And I'm just like, I don't know, because this person was one of my favorite characters. What else? I watched the movie Sugar Hill last night because I was in so much pain that I couldn't go to sleep. I pulled up Sugar Hill, and I'm convinced that Wesley Snipes was still so very fine in Sugar Hill. That was like the finest he ever been. He looked better in Sugar Hill than he looked in anything else. So, but I don't know what I'm gonna watch tonight because I'm not particularly sleepy. I'm gonna brush my weave out real good and put it back in my ponytail holder. Play my game on my phone. I'm feeling better. I'm gonna take I'm gonna take that muscle relaxer. I know I probably shouldn't, but I am, even after drinking champagne. And just lay in my bed and play my game on my phone. I don't have anything to do tomorrow. Probably gotta nothing. Nothing. Depends. I have something to do, but I'm only leaving the house contingent on if that's happening or not. But I gotta go take care of that during the day and hope my back don't re-tighten up on my dumb ass. And I'm in the house. I'm in the house the rest of the weekend, chilling. I'm not cooking shit. Maddie went back to school. There's still beef stew left. There's plenty of things to eat. I might get some more hog head cheese and some more liver, some more liver sausage. But other than that, I'm in the house. I don't be feeling like doing nothing. I just I just be having a lot in the course of the day. Like it'd be the phone calls for me. It'd be the me getting upset, and coming on here and shooting the shit with you all is an outlet. I can't tell y'all everything, but Princess knows everything, and Val, and seriously, between those two, um, I think I would lose my shit on a day-to-day basis, you know, because I be on the phone a lot. My house phone, that motherfucker just my neck, yeah, my neck always on the damn phone because I'm always resting it. That probably might be something that's bothering my back too. Shit, I don't know. But I'm dealing with a lot right now, you know, trying to figure out this Tribeca Film Festival thing. Someone has circled back in my business life who is not doing what I asked them to do 5 years ago. They still playing with me. And I guess they feel like, you know, I guess they feel like they could do what the fuck they want to. And you can't, not when it's my business. Just cause you think you running some shit. This motherfucking person, they live out in New York. They on some straight bullshit. They on some, how you on the same shit from 5 years ago? I asked you for one thing. Let me see the contract. You still haven't sent the contract over to my attorney or my business manager. You haven't sent it over to him either. But you think you're gonna wash your ass up in the Tribeca Film Festival and try to, no, no, sir, that's not gonna work. So I need somebody to hurry up and take care of this shit with this motherfucker because I'm going out there for business. This ain't a party. This shit is about money. And it's about making sure something is secure for my two children with Craig. You know, so I have things going on. You know, I'm happy in the course of a day that I can laugh on the phone with my kids. I can laugh with my cousin. I could talk shit to Princess. I could talk shit with Val. We can laugh and I can keep it moving because when I do daytime lives, that's only because I done took care of everything that I needed to take care of business wise. Now I can go outside and go do a little shopping and pick up a few things. But I ain't gonna lie, those phone calls be intense and people really be pushing my buttons. And I have to really calm and recenter myself because motherfuckers really do be playing too much. And I'm finding out even more that the fact that I'm a woman and I have to do business with men and this one motherfucking person just keep fucking playing with me over a fucking contract. That all I need to see is this contract and we can move forward. But you don't show me shit, ain't shit moving. Ain't shit moving. And I mean that shit. And this person, you know, I don't be trying to throw race into shit, but this person is melanatedly challenged and is Italian. And I feel like a real live culture vulture. And you trying to claim some shit as yours when it's rightfully belongs to me and my two children. You know, he act like he the only motherfucker with attorneys. No, you not. And tomorrow's gonna dictate some shit. And I hope the person who's working on it works on it thoroughly because I don't want to have to go through the same shit with this person. Stop fucking playing with me. And this person is really literally fucking playing with me in a way that is just so irritating. But I promise you, if I don't have some answers tomorrow and I want to get on the phone with this person and let them know what it is, I'm gonna scream on everybody on Friday. And I have a mouth on me, you know. Y'all see y'all see this Roxanne. This is the Roxanne that I really like. But then there's another Roxanne, and that Roxanne, I don't give a fuck if you like me. Because the one thing you're not gonna play with me about is money. I don't play about money. But this fool ass fool don't realize it's better to work together because there's more than enough money for everyone to get. But he wanna think he the head nigga in charge, and you not. Even if you thought you were, you aren't. And somewhere along the lines, he don't get that. So probably if shit don't go how I need it to go tomorrow, because I do have to speak with my attorney tomorrow about something, and this is gonna be one of the things, I need to know who his attorney is. So my attorney can talk to his attorney and try to map this shit out. Maybe his attorney can talk some sense into him. Because if it don't go the right way, the shit ain't gonna go at all. I can put kiboshes on things that you want to do until you show me a contract. And once he shows me a contract, then we can get down to percentages. What you get, what we get, what this person gets, and it can all be smooth. But he just don't, it's like he don't want the shit to be smooth. It's like he trying to play with me. And that's what you're not gonna do. You know, you're not gonna play with me. And my kids don't have to, battle with him because my kids are still kids. My kids in their fucking 20s. You want to talk, business, talk to the one who runs the business. But I've been going with it at this person. I haven't talked to him in several years. And now everything has come back full circle. And this is a perfect time to do what we need to do. And what shut us down before was some other shit. And the fact he didn't show me a contract. And he's still on this contract shit because his business partner died, you know. And I don't know what he think, but this ain't gonna be that. I will contact people and make sure he knows that I will put on full court press and put him on blast as to why you playing with me and my children about some shit with Craig. That's what you're not gonna do. I'm already dealing with one thing. Then there's another thing. And then there's this. My plate is really full. And I'm in a point in my life where it's a hurry up and wait. And I'm tired of waiting. This ain't little shit. This big money shit. But I feel like sometimes motherfuckers have a problem with dealing with a woman. I'm fair. I'm fair. But you're not gonna head nigga and charge me with something that rightfully belongs to my children and myself. No, you're not gonna do that. And I feel like this is what this motherfucker's gonna do. And I really hope, and pray that this type of thing that don't end up in court. I found out all sorts of shit, backdoor shit, trying to cut motherfuckers out of this because no. But when I can fully talk about that, I'm gonna let y'all know. But this guy's a fucking moron. A fucking moron. And I don't like that. I don't like that. It upsets me. Imagine. Ooh, it's Friday. Ooh, Thursday. Wednesday. Wednesday night. At the height of my pain. I'm on the phone. Spazzing the fuck out. I'm like, what? No, Tuesday. It was Tuesday because I went to the doctor on Wednesday. Yesterday was Thursday. Yeah. And I'm like, no, see, fuck that. And but who I'm working with is a very reputable person who really knows their shit. And, me and him speak very honestly and very candidly about things. And I think everything will work out. But it's like that one fucking person that's just fucking around. Because this is one person that's melanatally challenged, that's around a bunch of black people. And I think he wants us to feel like, no, this isn't, I got this under control. This is me. No, it's not, nigga. See, my other attorney, before he and I parted ways a few years back, told him through correspondence that you have to understand the rights of copyrights of music and Craig's likeness and image. We own 100% of that. So let's just say someone wanted to do a shirt with Craig on it. You would have to get our permission to do that. You can't just do that. That's number one. Number two, let's just say someone wanted to do a movie and they wanted to put someone in the movie who looked like Craig and they were calling him Craig in the movie. You would have to clear that. That's likeness. See, the one thing I do know is my business. And people, people be trying to play with you. And this one particular person is really trying to play with me. And, I don't dox people, but I don't think I would dox him. But I would definitely tell you all who the fuck he is and why the fuck he's irritating my shit right now. Mm, mm, mm. And I don't want to go to court. I shouldn't have to go to court for one fucking thing. Show us this paper. And if there is a paper that he signed, we will have it authenticated. Because I think maybe he don't understand or remember, but Craig's original attorney, who I'm still very cool with, that I love, has Craig's original contract from Bad Boy with his original signature. We will have that looked at. We're not stupid. I just don't think he actually has I don't think Craig signed anything with him. And that's why he just don't want to show me. And he feels like that he doesn't have to. Well, balls in your court now, nigga. Do something and let's see what happens. All my attorneys is paid up. I don't owe anybody nothing. They got big retainer fees just sitting, waiting to eat somebody up legally. And you have to come to Chicago to do it. You're not gonna be on your playing ground. You have to come here. They don't call Chicago the city of big shoulders for nothing. But he'll find out. He better show me that motherfucking contract, or it's gonna be no bueno. Motherfuckers just do too much. But mm, but I'm not gonna let that upset me before I go to bed. I'm definitely not. I'm definitely not. But I will let you all know how everything turns out tomorrow. It might be an interesting day, and I might ask my business partner to, one of my business partners to come up or even just be in my bushes and give me words of encouragement because tomorrow's going to be something else. It really is. It's a lot of moving parts. And a lot of these moving parts I wasn't even ready for. but I got to handle it. My kids, his children, they need what's just theirs. They need what's just theirs. And their mama gonna make sure they get it, just like I did before. But people be doing too much. They honestly do. That's why it's always good to have your affairs, your business shit in order. And make sure more than one person has contracts and knows this and knows that. And you know what's crazy? I just thought about something. I'm gonna keep that to myself. But yeah, I don't think he has a contract. And if he does, I need to see it. Otherwise, you don't need to go to the Tribeca Film Festival. You can go, but you need to shut the fuck up. You can be there. But I don't, between me and my other person, we don't need you to talk. Motherfucker, you can't present a fucking piece of paper. You can't present a piece of paper, but you want to be able to talk about something. Ugh. But I'm gonna get it worked out. I'm gonna get it worked out. I promise y'all that. I'm gonna get that shit worked out. And hopefully I have some answers tomorrow. I just need you all to send me good energy, positive vibes, because this person works my nerves. And I don't like that. Just stop playing with me. Oh, my guinea pigs are fighting. But anyway, you guys, I'm gonna get off of here, brush my weave out, and brush my teeth, lay down, get up in the morning, do things, look my phone calls, and see what else I have to do, and just chill out. Excuse me. I would like to thank the beautiful, sexy 65. Thank you for stopping by. I would like to thank my pixie dust for stopping by and moving the chat up, up, up for me. Thank you so much, Pixie. I appreciate you, baby. I really do. And know that that's going to get better. Okay? It is. I would like to thank my little big sister, House of the Princess. I'm sure she said she heard herself snoring and she's tired and she needs that sleep. Tomorrow's Friday. So hopefully she can sit still for a little bit. But knowing Princess, she's a busy woman. A busy woman. I would like to thank Doom for stopping by. Thank you so much, Brother Doom. And I don't even know how Doom found me. He just found me. He is a content creator and he found me. He's cool as fuck and I love Doom. I always stop by Doom's show, but I don't know what Doom be talking about. So I just hit the like button and give my love. So my on one, thank you so much for stopping by, sweetie. I'm Monique B. Thank you so much for stopping by. Okay. I just don't like to forget anyone. Big brother, Logic. Thank you so much, Logic and friends, for stopping by. I appreciate you. Miss Mary D. Thank you so much, Miss Mary, for stopping by. It is always a pleasure. I'm gonna take my ass in here, take this muscle relaxer. Surprisingly, I'm not hurting that bad, y'all. But I don't want this shit to come back with a vengeance. Because last night, the bitch was crying. Miss Do the Right Thing. Thank you so much for stopping by. I appreciate you. I think I'm gonna sleep well tonight because I didn't sleep good last night because I couldn't even turn over. And I do not like sleeping on my back. My country girl, Queena. Thank you so much, Miss Queena, for stopping by, honey. I appreciate you. My love bug, Miss Bug, my moderator. Thank you so much, sweetie. I appreciate you. Mhm. And thank you all for just interacting. I appreciate that. And people in the bushes, thank you for being here. And replay gang. Hi, y'all. Hi. I hope you enjoy the live and I hope you have a great weekend, a great, safe weekend. Sitting like this kind of feels good. Leaning back kind of hurts. Oh, get my ass in bed. Stormy C today. Thank you so much for stopping by. And our conversations really got a little raunchy tonight. That's okay. We're grown. And we weren't just like overly nasty. We just talked a little shit. And it was fun. Shit. Sometimes, you know, you got to. Because we be wanting some answers. I did. Empress, thank you for stopping by. I appreciate you. And she said ESPN fired him today. Lord have mercy. I thought Shannon just stepped down for a little while. It's just gonna be a hot mess, y'all. Hot mess. We talked about booty licking and all sorts of things tonight. Following your intuitions, listening to the universe, being kind to one another. That's all it really takes. Being kind, but not booty licking kind. You don't have to be that kind to nobody unless you want to be. Now, if you want to be, that's on you. That's your business. You're grown. But thank you guys so much for stopping by. I appreciate you all. Good night. Good night. Good night. And I will talk to you all. Ooh, pray this shit go good tomorrow. Cause I'm getting tired. And it's one person. And I'm gonna ask God to touch him so we can do business. And we don't have to want to take each other's heads off because I want to be able to get along with him because I want to do business with him. And I don't want him to be an asshole about shit. But I really think he's trying to white man me. And I don't like that. Not with my black business. So good night, you all. Ugh. I appreciate you guys. And I will talk to you all later on today.